Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, what's up, bro?
Okay, what's up, bro?
What's going on? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, same here, brother. Yeah, I'm sitting on my couch right now. I'm not even in the studio, so
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. You got a studio?
Oh yeah. It's junky right now. I can hold on. I guess I can let you see a little bit of it. It's junky though, because
Oh, it's all good, man.
I've
I
been
won't
having
judge, man.
live shows and so I had to move some of my stuff out, move stuff around to hold on. Yeah, it's junky, but it's you still be able to see like my keyboards are not set up because I took them on my live show with me. Hold on. All right. Let me get some light on. Hold on. Terrence, you there?
Yeah, man. You hear me?
Yeah, whiteboard, share, apps. Shit, I don't see shit, so I'll turn this way. Can you?
Yeah, just flip it. There you go.
Yeah, I just turned around. I don't know if you can see.
That's sick. I like that setup.
Yeah, like I said, it's more stuff to it, but it's. I don't know if you can see everything. I'm just going in a big circle. And
Yeah.
then if you see up top, it's like
Hey, man.
If you see up top, it's like clouds.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like clouds. That insulation to like,
Well, no, I don't have it hooked up, but what I did was it's like the teddy bear stuff that you stuff teddy bears with.
yeah.
I put up on the ceiling, and when I turn it on, it looks like a storm, or it looks like it's the cloud. It could be
No
blue, it could be
way.
whatever
That's
color.
sick. Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So
I like that.
It covers all this.
I don't know why I can't turn this camera around though. That's crazy. And I don't see a thing to turn it around.
You're on your
Oh,
phone?
I see it. I see it. Yeah,
Okay, there we go.
yeah. So like you see the so it's clouds like that. I got pictures on the wall.
That I need. Where's my phone?
Stuff all here. That's one of my keyboards. I got all my keyboards be set up right here. Then I got some of my plaques up here.
Oh my
Up
God,
there.
that's amazing.
Yeah, then I got all this over here. Then, my drum machine, I got an MPCX drum machine that I use, Pro Tools and all this stuff. Then you go here, more album stuff, some music stuff, the clouds, just all kind of. I was signing Motown, so you got all the Motown stuff.
What?
Whitney Houston, Missy Elliott pictures, celebration pictures, there's all kind of stuff. Back in the day, Johnny Cochran, stuff like that. And I got all this stuff. I'm a Prince fan, so you see that. They just sent me this Whitney Houston 25-year commemoration album, so I just got that in the mail.
Wow.
My little MPK mini. That's a collector's item there. The thing. Funko Pops.
Every day when you
I did a poetry album called Prophet's
until
Law.
it's found.
That's out right now. Check that out. It's called Prophet's Law.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely got to
But
catch up on all these things. Y'all
yeah,
are, y'all have a nice resume, nice portfolio of work and
yeah.
stuff. You know what I mean?
So yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. That's most of it, you know. So
That's sick.
Yeah, I got me.
It's a
so I
lot better than
appreciate
my wall. I got nothing.
it.
Just my family, man. That's my biggest achievement so far.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got pictures of the family, and this is the only room I can do this to. Every other room in the house it was my wife. So
Yeah.
that's a whole different story. But yeah, man.
So you're down in Atlanta too? Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta. Well, technically in Loganville, but
Okay.
but we all say Atlanta.
Atlanta, because it's like everyone knows.
Right.
Atlanta. Okay.
Right. Let me get where. Can you see me pretty good? Is it too light in here? Too dark?
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay. Good. That's what's up.
So it's great connecting. It's nice meeting you.
Same here.
I know you guys don't really know me, and I've had a number of conversations with Terrence, and for some reason, I feel like we just clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me a proposition, and I was like, nah, man, no. But here we are, right? So,
Right.
and I shared, we had a conversation on Friday, and I shared that I think for me, my biggest fear, my biggest insecurity is not delivering,
Right.
not meeting expectations, right? Because again, I think that's why when you're connected and you have that experience, that says so much because you know what to do.
Right.
So I think here I'm gonna have to, if this continues to work and I'm involved, I'm gonna try to give it 100%. I
Right.
feel like I've got a good amount of experience doing other things, so I can certainly like help.
Hmm.
But in terms of real firsthand like experience in the industry, I'm lacking there, right?
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I think it's, if this works, it really feels right to me. And if this works, we can get, you know, Terrence where he needs to be, help Terrence get, you know, shed more light on his works,
Right.
him as an author. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
I think,
Definitely. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh, no. I was just, last part, man, I know I was kind of dragging that out, but I think the
Oh no.
last piece is, I think the fundraising, like that's what I'm hearing. We need funds. We need funds to get stuff popping. So
Yeah.
yeah, what were you gonna say, Spec?
Totally. Um, to speak on what you said before, you just want to meet expectations. For me, is that showing that you're working, showing that we're all working towards something, even if we don't meet the certain expectations. As long as everybody's showing that, hey, we're trying to make it, we're trying to
Yeah,
get there to this point. I mean, that's sometimes you might fall short, sometimes you might not, but it's just really just trying to just get it there. And you not knowing a lot about the music business or this industry or whatever, however you're looking at it, it's changing. It's changed. So we're all learning at the same time. I know a lot of the old school stuff, and I read a lot and I look at a lot of videos, all this AI stuff. It's a lot of stuff that's out here. So
yeah.
I try to keep abreast of what's going on. So technically, this new industry, we're all learning at the same time.
Okay,
So we all hope to meet expectations. You know what I mean? So you're not there by yourself. We
okay,
all here with you. We all
okay,
working.
cool.
Yeah, things that you don't know, ask me, ask Dan, see what's going on. Things we don't know on your end, we're gonna say, hey, so what do you think about this? So we can learn from each other, and that's for me. That's how I keep growing. I learn from other people.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely with it.
I mean, I feel like it takes a little bit of the pressure off because again, I've been pretty vocal about where I stand, but at some point, we just have to just start getting to work,
Yeah,
right? And doing what we can. And I know Terrence was talking about Kickstarter. I'm happy to run that in terms of, you know, setting it up, setting up the page and all that. I'm of course going to probably need some input from you guys,
right.
but I'm just concerned that I feel like with Kickstarter, we still need some sort of audience who are interested. So
Mm-hmm.
I think at the end of the day, we can still set up the Kickstarter, but I
Mm-hmm.
think we need to have like I'm also not on social media. I shared that with Terrence.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not scared of social media, but it's just been a lifestyle choice, right? Like I didn't want to
I
be
get
involved. But
right, right,
I'm feeling like we need to, I'm thinking we need to start there on social media and try to just develop some sort of community,
right,
and then also potentially look at YouTube or Twitch. I know
right. Yeah,
I know Terrence had we met last week and I know Terrence was like, "Hey, you're recording this, right?" And I was like, "No." You know, but we can put some of these conversations up if we like edit it and make it look sort of clean, I guess.
right,
But
right,
we can put these up because it's still part of the journey
right.
on,
And
yeah.
even if we do that, if you want to blur your face out because you don't want people to see you, it's fine. I mean, social media now is whatever. This one lady, never heard of her name. I forget her name. Kylie somebody. They were talking about how TikTok was trying to boot her off because she's made so much money buying houses and so much stuff off TikTok, but it's just her normal day life. Like I started following her for a minute just to see what was different. It's just her with her kids and her husband waking up, making breakfast, just doing normal stuff. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So if you do want to blur your face and they just show us or whoever's on the call, that's fine.
Mhm.
It's no pressure doing that because I think now it's as long as they see something,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. And then by you blurring your face out, that might bring more attention. Like, well, who is this guy?
Who is that?
Who is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, who
You
is
know what I'm
that?
saying?
Who the
So
guy? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's like I said, it's up to you. Even with me on social media, I don't post anything about my kids. I don't
Mhm.
post. I might post studio stuff sometime, but like even Terrence will tell me, "Hey man, you need to show how you working on your beats and how." I'm not that type person. When I'm creating, it just need to be me, the studio god, and and I'm here creating. It just having somebody watching what I'm doing. I'm not comfortable doing that. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I don't do it.
Yeah.
So it's just ways we can do stuff, man, to get it out on social media. You know,
Yeah.
but I agree with you though. We need to start at social media. We definitely need to get that off the ground.
I think what we need is we really need some sort of, if we need to tap into, and hey, real quick, I don't have the biggest network either. I mean, I've come across some folks, but man, I'm like 40 plus. I you know, I have 3 kids. That's my whole focus. That's my world. I'm sorry to say. I know some people, they need outward extensions and they, you know, they latch on to others, but like, I'm not like that. Right.
Right.
But, you know, I think if we can try to maybe get our friends and family to follow, to comment, to like, that'll help initially as we're, and again, I'm assuming we're starting at ground zero, but you already have something established. But if it's been a while, that stuff might be stale already, right? I just think like
you're having to kick it back and reboot it up.
we're rebooting, exactly. That's why I was telling
yeah,
Ted, we're
it
like
has been
starting
quiet.
over in a way.
Yeah. It's been
And
quiet
there's
for a while.
nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, hey, we got to just be realistic about where we're at. If it's a reboot, dude, that's cool. Because then as long as we just continue to grow. So if we need to go to family and friends and have them like follow, comment, like, or whatever,
Right.
you know, at least start somewhere. And then we can try to start building on the, you know, establishing a real base.
Right.
Right. Yeah, definitely that. Definitely that.
The grassroots angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if we jump into a Kickstarter or just have some sort of buzz, and I'm not even talking a big like audience. I'm talking just like 10 to 20 people who are into it and they like want to meet you at a, if you're going to go to like a comic book con or even a store, and they'd go and drive and meet you. You know what I mean? Like that's what we need, just a diehard small base.
Right.
And I think it starts on Instagram. I think it starts on possibly YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, it's already, like I said, that's the thing. It's already on Instagram. I just haven't been putting any time into it because everything else I got going on around it. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's really no excuse to a certain extent, but I always was feeling like, man, I don't have any more material to push. I've done the books, I've done this, that, and the third. So now it's more about the conversation because I've already done the work for the material, right? So my whole focus now is the conversation, like the conversations that we're having now. You keep showing that, you know, however many times we do this and have these meetings to keep, you know, checking on the progress, that it just keeps building, and people starting to see it like, oh, okay, well, there. And the more times we doing it, you know what I'm saying, the more people will start tuning in because it's becoming consistent. You know what I'm saying? So each video will be different, each conversation might be a little bit different, but it's still, like you said, it's still going towards the same angle, the same goal. So yeah.
So I got a question. I know, Terrence, you have a lot of, I know you created some more titles, books, and so you have a lot already out, right?
Yeah.
And so to like I said, I'm new to this as well. So to make because that's a lot of content. So to push content with all the books that you have out, would it be to bring more people into the situation? Would it be something where, like, say we're talking now, or we're talking about a book that you just released, or one of the books that's already out, we have conversations about it. Hey, well, this character was blah blah blah, this da da da, and you have like 20 something books out. That's a whole lot of content that we can start talking about, and then we upload it to IG. You know, maybe a book a week or conversations a week about, you know.
I like that.
I mean, the only thing is, like I said, most of y'all in the beginning, y'all had gotten the physical copies, right? But the rest of them now, the other 17 are only on Amazon as digital.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying the content.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we're talking about it, and we let people know, hey, this is on Amazon. You know, we talk about the book, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's cool.
That's a great idea.
Because we have that. What he was saying, that we need content for IG and Twitch. So what's the content? You have all these books, so let's talk about it. Every book is
the characters. I mean, I think there's a lot we can do with what we've got.
Right.
And then eventually, and then on top of that, we can layer these business conversations, because I think a lot that might resonate with some people, that these guys are doing something.
True. And what we can do too, because you got so much content out, you got the books out, Terrence, you can come over and say one of the books you're not that you already have out. You're not trying to put music to it, but hey, we can sit in here. Oh, we'll create something on Twitch for this one scene of this comic book, or hey, we're gonna show you how we created the music for this right here, and just show us doing that. So that's more content to bring in the music part of what we do as well, because they're thinking, oh, writers, comic books, movies. Oh, we do music. We do the score for them. We're in the studio right now working on book number 12. This is the music for this is the opening scene. We might just do that one scene. Mind you, we already did the music, but we're just gonna re-upload it and start and act like we're doing
make it all fresh again.
But look though, but listen, even when you're talking about that, I wish you would have had the studio up right now, because we could have spoken about, as we're talking about the Ulterior TV show that we're working on. We already did the theme song, remember?
Right.
So that
now, we can show them how we did the theme song. Like, let's load up the drum machine. Let's load everything up. We're playing the strings by itself. Oh, this is how this vibe came up. This is an Ulterior. He's flying in here, and you hear this. You hear all this going on, and then at the end of the conversation, we play the whole piece.
Right.
Just something that
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that'll be dope. And we already done the work, so let's just, like you said, redo it and let people see how we created it.
Yeah, I like this. I mean, I think this is how we can reach more people. Is we have zero expectations right now. If we're really literally starting from zero, fine, we're starting from zero. But again, we were talking about consistency and discipline and just being focused on what the goal is, right? What is the goal though? I feel like I have an idea what the goal is. What's the goal to you guys? Just to make sure I'm right.
I haven't got a
that
goal
I'm right,
yet.
but I'm aligned. Say it again.
My ultimate goal is for TMH Comics to be one of those brands. Not say it's going to be as big as Marvel and DC, because they've been out here for years, like I'm saying. But I just want to be able to make a staple on this side of the fence and say, hey, this is what we did over 15 years, and this is what people remember. You know what I mean? So, and then of course at the same time, my main thing too is one of the books to sell as best and as good as possible, as well as this TV show, man. That's one of my biggest things that's been on my mind right now is the show, because I know the show, can really go somewhere. You know what I mean? So that's one of my biggest things. But building TMH Comics as a brand, it really is the most important thing. Like I said, for this side of it, you know what I mean? Versus the music, but this right here, the stories are what brings everything else to life. You know what I'm saying? So,
How about you, Spec?
I'm a music dude, so I just create the music part of it, and I throw ideas when I have them. But my goal is to really just make the music and the scores, the compatible to the Hans Zimmermans and the Superman soundtracks, and they like, oh my God, this, where did y'all do this? Oh, we have our own place, and we, so my goal is just to make the best product. My goals will change as we go, but I'm not that type of creator where I'm writing books, or I'm never got into the comic books I like going to see movies, but never thought about the scoring and all that stuff until, me and Terrence started talking about it. And he was pushing me to, hey man, you need to do more scoring. You do this, you can do all this other stuff, but man, I want to get you into the scoring stuff. So now hey, let's do it. I mean, I know I can do it. I'm a sponge when it comes to music. So the goals, I would have to piggyback off what y'all doing and help prepare whatever y'all doing. What's yours? I'm waiting to hear this.
Hey, honestly, I'm just going where life takes me and just trying to give it 100%. I'm just really trying to learn and adapt. I really like this because it's testing me and pushing me to the limit, because I won't know what to do, but we can give it a go and just try our best. And I'm talking about me personally, like try my best, try something, see how it goes, layer on something different, or maybe tweak it slightly if I need to. But I think this is really exciting, man. The fact that we are starting at zero, because I think any growth we have is going to just be that much more. That'll be that fuel to keep us going.
I think the whole situation for this particular brand needed to be broken down. It was already like I was building a wall by myself. You know what I mean? Trying to get there to a certain degree. But like I said, it takes a village, man. Like you can't get anywhere without the help of other people. So I know that you know, I'm looking at staring at the brick wall. Like I had to tear it back down, and like I said, try to rebuild it in the building in a different format. But you know, I do understand that these are some of the avenues you go down, and when it doesn't work, you walk right back over there, and you know what I'm saying, try another street. Okay, let me go down this road because this one was a dead end. So let me try this street right here and see how I can keep going.
So speaking of goals, we know where we want everything to go. Terrence explained that you know, Star Wars, this big, the TV shows, this.
Yep.
But what's our short-term goal? What's the goals we need? Like, say if it's okay, we want to get these many followers on social media, or we want to get the Twitch up and just put more
Yeah.
content. We gotta have short-term goals to get to, because I can't. I never try to go, oh, we know what the end goal is, but you can't get there if we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So my main thing is short-term goals. I mean, it could be a 2-month goal, it could be a 6-month goal, it could be a week goal. Like, hey, let's put this content out like for the next month. Let's do this. This is our goal. And if we can't beat that, then we gotta, you know, we got small issues.
Yeah, and that's what we discussed in the first meeting.
Okay.
We're gonna try to make this thing consistent so that we can continue to, like you said, put out more material, because that's the one that's missing.
Okay.
Start seeing that and they start paying attention to it, then they'll start tuning in, because they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna be looking at it like, what, like you said, like, what do these people got going on? What's going on with this?
Yeah.
That's
literally just
curiosity.
I mean, if we meet weekly and just record these, this is literally one video that we can throw on as is, little production. And then if we need to, we can go in and actually cut it up,
right,
and post them as either shorts or get them on IG or whatever that is. Like you guys talking about your goals, that's probably a nice thing to cut it up and say, hey, this is what you envision. And again, if we just start and gain some following, just again, I know we need to be realistic, but man, once we get this going and we can look back and see how far we've come and how much we've accomplished, I think it's just going to be so magical, dude. Like we're going to feel so good being involved.
So are you, I'm not that savvy with videos, cutting it up, doing this, adding this. I'm not good at that. So if you're good at that, man, just, I would say take the road of that, or Terrence, you could do it. I'm not good with, you know, cutting up videos and cap cuts, or I don't even have the software to do it on my computer.
I can throw this out there. I can do this if we need to.
Okay.
I haven't shared this with Terrence, but I've launched 2 or 3 YouTube channels. I didn't get anywhere. I had one built up with like 300 followers. I'm actually consistently posting right now. I'm trying to blow up my current channel, but I'm still under 100. I have like 77 subscribers.
Right.
But that's unrelated to this, I think. So do we have a TMH Comics account for YouTube?
Yeah, but I need to we have it. Are you talking about for YouTube?
Yeah.
We have it. I need to take some videos out and move them over. I was just doing, everything is mixed in, from music to the comic book stuff.
That's fine.
Get rid of all that.
I think that's fine, because well, when was the last time you posted? Has it been a while, or are you posting like fresh content?
Probably a month ago, maybe. I think.
Okay.
Maybe a month ago.
I think you could just leave whatever you have there, man, because it's already what's done is done, and then now we can just layer these on top.
Right.
And I think the business side will be interesting, and then we can get deeper into the story side, and then start to highlight all these things, and then I think eventually get you on a podcast here and there. Maybe we could try to get you on a local one in Atlanta.
Right.
And whether it's about comics or just being a writer or entrepreneur, you know, I think that could be the next play, and then we can get that, we can blast that. Terrence from, you know, TMH on this podcast, boom, right? Like, so.
Okay.
Definitely that. I'm with that.
So yeah, so to make it clear, I can edit some of these. Again, I'm not a professional editor, right? But I can at least try to do my best, if that's, you know, I know you said you could too, Terrence. So I think whatever makes sense, I'm happy to try to do that. But we need those channels. We need okay, we got 10 minutes left on here.
Okay.
But I think that's a good goal for this week. What's up?
No, I'm gonna send you some things too, because when you're talking about editing, I just thought about some stuff. So I'm gonna send you over a couple of files. I think if I have them when I see them, and then also too, I just started today trying to revamp a little bit of the website. I'm still working on that. I gotta move some stuff around, but I just started like an hour ago. But I'm getting ready to start working on that this week, little by little, to get it to where I need it to be, because it's like pretty much like dusting the cobwebs off, because I haven't touched that website in so long. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing today, and that's pretty much it. So I'm waiting on this meeting. So
Nice.
he
Cool.
said,
So
step by step.
what was that?
No, I just said little by little, pretty much, little by little.
Okay. So I think that that's probably a good goal for next week is let's get these social media channels down, because I think we could still use the same content and just put it on all the different channels. Right? We want as much we want to put as much out there as possible. So you got IG already, right? Where is that going to run from? Is that going to run from
yeah, I have IG now. You can connect all your pages to your main page. So I already have that connected. That's been there since what, 2017.
Are you able to add us as like a team member so I can access it? And
yeah. I'll go into it and see how to do that. Also,
okay.
there's a Facebook. There's TMH Comics on Facebook. Of course, there's a YouTube channel. I got to go back and look at the name.
You got the Twitch too? Or you have the?
I've never been on Twitch.
Okay.
I hear about it, but I've never even.
We need to tip that up.
I think for Twitch it'd be more like this, and then what we could even do is we can record this live on Twitch.
Oh, that's what everybody. Oh,
and then people can come in, or we host again once we build a following. We host a like Ask Me Anything, right, Terrence? And now you have to join, and then the fans are gonna come in and ask you questions and stuff, and then you just kind of answer them.
Right, that'll be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so we need to get a Twitch.
So many
TikTok.
Yeah, no, what? No, it's not on TikTok.
Okay, so we need a TikTok too.
TikTok and the Twitch.
TikTok and Twitch and all that too.
Okay. Now, I'm not super tech savvy either, but so that might require a little bit of just figuring out how are we going to do all these things in terms of like uploading directly, or do we take the video, cut it up, and then upload? I think to keep things as simple as possible, we can upload this in its raw form, just literally as it is, and then this is TMH sesh or whatever we want to call it, and then we're business sesh or whatever, and then we kind of just upload them as is, and hopefully there's millions of people on YouTube. Someone's gonna come across it. Again, they may not like it, but they might.
Right.
But putting out content, that's the key thing, because we just need to keep putting it out consistently.
Right. Gotcha. Definitely. I'm definitely with you when you said earlier too, even like to say this is an hour-long conversation. Some of the conversations you can cut up 30 minutes and then, that's two different conversations, or even the 20-minute set where, you cutting it fade out or however you do it. And then we have more content to put out, so we're always ahead, meaning that like next week, we have two pieces that we can put out, but we're already talking in this other hour, content. And then now we have more content. So we're always ahead of, we have enough content in the back row, in the back lane to keep putting stuff out. That's my main thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of doing that. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about all that, man. Definitely excited. Yeah.
Okay, so for at least right now, bare minimum, we're recording this. We can upload this now to YouTube, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I should have the recording. I'm also trying to record it on this other tool called OBS. I've never used it, but I've heard a lot of good things. So, once the meeting's over,
Is that live? Is OBS? Is that a live?
I think it's just recording my screen with us on the screen. So, but I also recorded it through Zoom. So I think I should get access to that also. Again, this is kind of new, so we're just ironing out some of the kinks first. But once we get this going and get in that workflow, it'd be just easy peasy.
Yeah, and I don't know. Next time I have my studio be set up. I'll do this on my laptop next time, so it can be much clearer and all all that stuff. So
okay,
we good.
Anything else in terms of? Okay, so I know we need money, man. right? Do
Yeah.
you think it makes sense to set up a Kickstarter now, or do we just? I think we might have to wait a little bit, but again, I'm all about, if you really want to push,
Yeah,
for it now, we can
I'm
push.
more so right now about reintroducing everything. I mean,
Yeah.
there are some people that know, but nobody really knows. So
Okay.
once we get that done, then yeah, we can go ahead and
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even with that, I know last time you were like, hey, how much you think we need? Right. And so I know we need at least a certain amount. But when I was on Kickstarter, I mean, these people are asking for $5,000. Like that's their whole goal, $5,000.
That's under the comic. That's under the comic book thing, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
these were actually even for like first show pilots, right?
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
so it just made me feel like that might be more like phase 2.
Right.
Once we have something established, we've got things going, now we can try to tap in and, again, continue to focus on growing and then focus on getting some money.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
Well, definitely if podcasts are set up with other people, we need to have a Kickstarter there, because if he's on a podcast speaking, hey, we starting to Kickstarter fund, and he needs to put that out on their podcast, because their podcast probably they'll record it and put it out again somewhere else. So
yeah,
we definitely need to do it like you said, just get everything up and running. But when he's getting ready to get on his first podcast, we need to have that Kickstarter up and running. So
that's a good point. So maybe it's all about setting these goals, right? So by next week, we should have all the social media things like access, and then maybe more next week, we can talk about expectations.
Okay.
Like it posting every day. Is it really just posting this once a week, and then working to chop it down, and then post 3 shorts over the next week? So it'd be main video, 3 shorts. Those shorts can be added to YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So that'd be all in one thing.
I like that.
So I think, and then like, what's the goal to get on a podcast? Like, is that in the next 90 days? Maybe look to try to do something there. I mean,
yeah, because he has a lot of content. He has a lot of books that's already written, so he has a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
So okay, so I think, and again, whether or not it happens, we've got to have that idea first to spawn it actually happening in reality. So, okay, so just so we're clear, so for by next week, we should have one video posted already on YouTube for sure, and then we'll iron out some of the access to these social media channels, right? Because I don't know how IG works. I don't know if it's a business page, maybe you can add me as a user again, so that way I can post stuff too. I think it might make sense for me to be able to post for TMH. Yeah. So once I cut it up.
Yeah. So what you do is you go ahead and set up the IG page for yourself, because I don't know if you have one or not.
Okay, I do.
Okay, cool. So send it to me through text, and then the TikTok and TikTok and Twitch, you set that up.
I'll set that up.
I don't have that for those, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
For those handles. So yeah.
Okay. I might make a dummy Gmail then, like I don't know, TMH Eddie or something like that, and then and then I could just set it up through that email.
Okay.
All right, nice. We have less than a minute. Anything else?
Okay. No, that's good, man.
That's it.
Great first meeting. Great first meeting, and meeting you as well.
Yeah. Nice meeting you. I think we made some progress here. Yeah. Again, you got to be disciplined and focused, but we can get there, man.
Okay.
I'm super hyped. All right.
Absolutely, man. All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
Okay. Y'all be
in a few.
See you guys. All right.
Bye.
Hey.
What up, dude?
What up?
What's good, my people?
Yes, sir.
We're back. TMH boys. Another light talk.
All day, every day.
All day, every day, man. You know it. So, we got some big news, big announcements, a lot of buzz, a lot of things. I don't know about you, CJ. I'm feeling hyped. How about you?
I'm ecstatic, my brother. I am through the roof. We've got some really, really big guests. I don't even know if I should be the one to say it. Maybe I feel like, you know, the guy that handled it. You know, I want to keep it a surprise, but we've got some big things coming up next week on our podcast. We're gonna be back to the interviews. I will say that.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Special guest.
Well, Pat, everyone. Pat, oh, what's up, Q?
I said, quit teasing these folks.
We gatekeeping here. But everyone, hey, pat yourself on the back. Because we dedicated, we committed, showing up, and we're starting to see some results. Right? We're making things happen. Good job, everybody. But we got T over there. He kind of lurking there in the shadows, in the background. Big announcement, man. You want to be the one to bless everybody?
Yes, sir. Next Tuesday on the 22nd of April, man, we're actually going to have the creator of My Vampire System, and he will be here to discuss all things My Vampire System, as well as talk about how he got started and what it took for him to get to where he is today, and what it takes for you to get the 15 million downloads that My Vampire System has, you know what I'm saying, accomplished. So we'll see him around the same time next week on the 22nd. So please, you guys, stay tuned. It's on the way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Any Vampire System fans out there, you need to
If you're
tune
not,
in.
you will be. Check it out. It's good. I'm one of the downloads.
Want to remind you guys, make sure you like and subscribe now. You do not want to miss this next week. If you love Vampire System,
comment.
Exactly. So, in other news, what else is going on, y'all? CJ, I mean, again, we're all excited, right? I mean, like, what's going on?
Hey, listen, man. I don't know if everybody's been out there looking at the books or looking at the creations or what have you, but again, I'm gonna run it back and spin the block on this announcement. Eddington's Echo, Eddington's Entropy, Eddington's Farewell, you know, Cosmic Echoes, and then now Eddington's Echoes. All of those are available. They've been being posted on not only web novel, but you know, you can get your audio versions off of Spotify and have them read out loud to you. And you can also, again, all things available on Amazon.com for purchase. So again, I might seem like I'm a little calm right now, but I think that's just because I'm holding it in. I think it's because I'm feeling so good about that right there. Gaze at it, people. Soak it in. That's going to be the next major one. Okay? And without spoiling it, I will tell you this is going to tie into the major storyline within TMH Comics. Okay?
What?
You got to make it to Cosmic Echoes. You got to make it.
Hey, there's so many coming out.
Don't let me be the only one. Bragging.
Number 3, right?
But yeah, man. Yeah. That's Ellis Langston right there. All right. That's the main character. We've heard a little bit about it, and I think it'd probably be a pretty good time to segue in the next couple of minutes to playing one of the excerpts from the next one. I don't know if did we play Eddington's Farewell yet? If not, I think we
No.
probably move straight on into that. I mean,
I got that queued
yeah,
up.
we gotta get people familiar with it. Yeah. I really, that's how exciting it is, man. I want everybody to get familiar with the story, right? We got to get everybody in on the story. It's gonna go just like a series on Netflix, man. You got to binge it so that you can tie in the other seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna link like the MCU. They're gonna link. Okay, stories are starting to intertwine. That's all I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, again, I think this is a great time to look into my eyes. Roll them.
All right. That's my cue, I think. You doing good, Q? You still with us, right?
Good.
You had a crazy weekend, right?
Man, long weekend. Too long.
That's
Friday
it. Are your
morning,
eyes
Friday
open? I see you got your
studio.
glasses on.
I'm here.
I can't see if your eyes open.
They're not open. And I'm good.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. You know, just a long weekend, but whew, you know, the work must continue. We must keep going.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The life of a hustler, the life of an artist, the life of a grinder, the life of an entrepreneur is
Tell 'em
a whole lot of
tell 'em
nights of no sleep.
My bad, Chris. Tell them what you're working on.
Oh, right now I'm working on that boy Jizzle from the Franchise Boys. I'm working on his project. We're trying to put his project together, and we've been in the studio grinding it out like crazy.
Damn,
Shout
That's
out to
gonna
the
be
franchise boys and Fat Boy, man. Hopefully big things coming. We look forward to hearing it. Hopefully maybe he'll come on and interview and preview the stuff, man. We'll never know. We'll work through you on that.
I'm working on that.
nice.
Definitely
nice.
working on that.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All righty. So with that, let's jump into it. Farewell.
Well then.
Doing?
I like it. Let's go.
Let me cut this music here. Kill the music. All right. There you go.
Cut the beat.
Okay, so we've got excerpts from Eddington's Farewell, this story. And wow, you really dive right in. You're right in this town, Eddington, and it's still reeling from this mysterious thing, the null. And our deep dive today, that's what we're going to unpack. It's that central conflict, right? And for the main character, Ellis Langston, it's not just the aftermath of that first crisis, but a whole new threat. So we're going to explore his internal battles, the people he loves, his relationships, and the unsettling things that start happening in this seemingly quiet town.
Yeah, absolutely. The null, it really looms over everything. You know, we get the sense it was some sort of destructive event, but Eddington is supposedly in recovery, right? But you
Yeah.
can feel this tension, this very fragile piece, almost like something else is waiting beneath the surface.
And Ellis Langston, he's right in the middle of it all when we meet him, 28 years old. And even in those first few moments, you just feel the weight he carries. Memories of the null, they're heavy, you know. And where do we find him? His garage, meticulously working on a carburetor, almost like he's trying to find some sort of control, some order in this mechanical thing, you know. Maybe that's his way of dealing with the chaos around him.
Yeah, that image of him in the carburetor, it's really striking. You know, this need for order, for control, and a guy who's probably seen a lot of chaos. It's what people do, right? Focus on something small, something manageable to get away from the bigger fears.
And then in walks the warmth, right? Ella Mae Robertson, his grandmother, and she brings that sweet potato pie. It's more than just pie, isn't it? It's that connection, her unwavering support. And what gets me is how she sees right through him, trying to act busy, unfazed. And she does it so gently, but firmly.
She's not fooled for a second, is she? Ellis Edward Langston, you look like you haven't slept in days. You can hear it in her voice, that worry. She knows him. She knows he's pushing everyone away.
And she doesn't let him retreat. She just keeps at it, gently. You got to pretend you don't see me, boy. She just gets him, you know. He's not just fixing an engine. He's busy hiding. What do you think he's running from the most right now?
I think it's a few things tangled together. The trauma from the null, that's a big one. Whatever happened, it left a mark. But you also get the sense from LMA that he feels this new threat. And maybe he's afraid or feels like he can't handle it. It's heavy, what she says to him. This town needs you, son, and so do I. That's a lot to carry.
And right then, right when you're feeling that warmth with his grandma, the story shifts. Like a switch flipped. Sudden gust of wind, the lights go haywire, and then this low hum. It's almost like you feel it in your bones, you know? And it's different, they say, from that chaotic energy of the null. This is colder, more deliberate. It makes you realize this isn't just a repeat, it's something new, and maybe a lot worse.
Yeah, the way they shift those sensory details, it's brilliant.
Mm.
Wind, lights, that hum. It's not an explosion, right? It's a gathering storm.
Mm.
And that's almost scarier. It feels like something intelligent is behind it, you know?
The next morning, that unease is everywhere in Eddington. It's quiet, but not a peaceful quiet. It's that kind of silence where you're holding your breath, waiting, and the news starts spreading. All those strange things from the night before.
Yeah.
Flickering lights, the static on radios, even people feeling sick, nauseous, like the whole town got hit with something.
And you'd think that would bring everyone together, right? But it doesn't. It does the opposite. It's like that small town bond starts to unravel. People get suspicious. Mrs. Henderson boarding up her windows, Old Man Withers talking about the end of the world.
Mm.
Even the teenagers are looking at each other nervous. This is something they can't ignore.
Yeah, it's like the whole town is about to snap.
Mm.
And then you've got Mayor Tonson trying to explain it all away. The transformer's old, he says, just a power issue. But come on, it's so obvious he's trying to find a normal reason for something that feels very not normal. And the townspeople know it. Sarah Jenkins, she asks him, what about that feeling? Like we're being watched. His explanation just doesn't cut it. They know something's deeply wrong.
That feeling of being watched, it's a powerful thing. It
Yeah.
speaks to something more, something psychic maybe. And they trust that feeling more than the mayor's logic. They know it's not just a power outage.
We get another scene with LMA and Ellis, and it's so good. She confronts him straight up, tells him he's hiding and that the town needs him. But he pushes back, says everything's fine, back to normal. But LMA, she just keeps gently pushing. Don't you turn away from this, Ellis. You can tell he's fighting something inside. He knows she's right, but he can't bring himself to face it. What do you think is holding him back the most?
It has to be the trauma, right? What he went through during the null. We get these glimpses, these flashbacks, that horrible pain of his transformation being ripped apart and put back together, the surge of energy. That would mess you up, you know? It wouldn't just give you powers, it would scar you deep. So, yeah, he wants to stay away from anything that might make that happen again.
It wasn't just a superpower upgrade. It sounds terrifying. So yeah, the fear of that pain, the fear of what he doesn't know about his powers, and maybe even the fear of what it all means, the responsibility, it's all pushing him to deny it. But that sense of duty, that need to protect the people he loves, it starts to win out. He starts to believe something's really wrong, and he digs in, starts researching this new threat. And even then, you see LMA worried about him.
He's torn, isn't he, between protecting himself, hiding from that trauma, and protecting his town, his people. And LMA, with that love she has, she's both comfort and that push he needs.
Okay, so then the entity arrives. And it's not this big, loud, crazy thing like you'd expect after the null. It's almost the opposite. This creeping darkness, this unnatural twilight.
Yeah.
And cold, a predatory cold. The sun is gone, literally vanishes. And these shadows start twisting, appearing everywhere. It's a brilliant way to show how powerful this thing is. Not a bang, but a slow descent into darkness.
Right. Totally subverts your expectations. It's not brute force, it's the suffocating darkness.
Yeah.
And it feels smart. The way they use light and shadow, it just makes you feel uneasy, like there's something evil at work.
And everyone panics. You can almost hear it, the collective gasp. Dogs howling, and then the birds, they go silent. It's primal, right? And then the power grid goes down. The whole town goes dark. Car alarms start blaring everywhere. It's chaos, but not from destruction, from this spreading darkness.
And then it gets really scary. The psychic wave, this wave of energy hits the town, and people react in different ways. Some just collapse, strained, but others, they change. They become these puppets with empty eyes, faces twisted in this hateful grimace. They move in this jerky, unnatural way. It's that loss of control. That's the chilling part.
The familiar becomes monstrous. You have Mrs. Henderson, maybe with a garden hoe now, but not for gardening. Mr. Abernathy attacking his wife. Little Timmy Johnson just walking with that blank stare toward the center of town. These are people they know. They're friends. They're neighbors.
It's the complete breakdown of everything, isn't it? You see these control people walking with that same purpose, senseless violence, a store window smashed, and then the psychic commands. It's like raw emotions, hate, fear, obedience, just flooding their minds. And they can't resist Mrs. Davison attacking her husband. It's like their love, their connections, it all just vanishes.
It's like the fabric of the town is just disintegrating. And then in the middle of this chaos, the entity shifts its focus. Ellis feels it. And he's terrified because he knows LMA is the target. And we see them, these controlled people, all moving toward her house, surrounding it.
It's
Should we keep going? Dang.
How'd y'all feel about it?
You're
Had you
muted,
locked
Q.
in?
One more
Picture in
time.
your head.
I said whoever was sitting there watching that was locked in.
Yeah. Wow.
Exactly. Had the picture in your mind. That's what was
Man,
going.
there was
Yes,
a
sir.
lot going on there, and a lot of very interesting dynamics going on, different forces.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a whole lot. And it's, again, it's still in the developing phase. It's still getting bigger. The presence is getting bigger. His powers are getting bigger. He's exploring and discovering and figuring and just you gotta read it. You just gotta read it and see the whole rabbit hole that this man's life goes down before his life really even begins.
So where can they find it?
You know where to find it. Web novel, Spotify, Amazon. Go get it. Do not sell yourself short.
Pick up a book and read, people.
I'm
Keep
telling
your
you.
mind sharp.
Okay.
Keep it fresh. Get that imagination
That's all.
going.
Hey, that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah, but man, we got a lot of hot-ish coming out. So you need to get started now and grab number 1.
That's right. That's right. Up with hope, down with dope, all the smoke. Ladies and fine.
You just come up with that right now, man?
Yeah.
You practice, or you practicing that like a week?
No, I stole those. Up with hope, down with dope is Jesse Jackson, man.
Jesse Jackson. Up with hope, down with dope.
You know that.
That is
All
sick.
right.
That's some more Rainbow
Sick.
Push Coalition. Come on now.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah. Come on, Skip. Yeah. My bad, Stephen A.
All right. So, man, I'm feeling super hyped right now. I mean, again, I know that we were already talking about that, but I'm just saying, all these new releases. You got My Vampire System creator, author joining us next week. And then there's a lot of other movies going on that we can't really speak on unless T wants to share a little bit more. But man, we're making moves behind the scenes right now. There's a lot of stuff kind of in.
Absolutely. Our viewers and listeners are growing every week.
Yep.
Every day.
Our subscribers, please, again, every time you see it, every day. That's right, daily. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, tell your friends. We are the new thing in town, and we ain't going nowhere.
If you love comic books, TV, movies, video games, if you want to be, up on what's going on in the culture and hang with some good people, you got ATL representing Cali. Dude, like and subscribe and join us every single week.
East Coast to West, baby.
All right,
Do it.
let's keep things moving. All right, what else we got? What else is going on? I saw something about like Supergirl. I know CJ gonna go deep, but like, what you got,
Well,
Chris?
well, we just know the young lady who's been cast. And again, all of this in the DC universe, the upcoming movies, we know that's going to be all that's being created and directed by James Gunn. If you're not familiar with James Gunn and the fantastic work he does, just go watch any of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Well, no, just watch the first two. 'Cause I think wasn't he? Didn't he leave? I think for the third one. I'm not sure if they let him finish it or not. But I don't know if you remember a few years ago there was a little controversy with some words and some actions, around James Gunn and some of the staff and all that kind of stuff. And he was out over there for a period of time. But I think they brought him back, and then now that he's gone again, they immediately picked him up in the DC universe. So. And everything you've seen from the Superman trailers, everything so far, Creature Commandos on HBO Max. He doesn't have anything to do with Harley Quinn. That was still some of the old DC Universe stuff. But the newer things, like I said, Creature Commandos, the new Superman, he has officially cast, I believe the young lady's name is Millie Alcox. And correct me if I'm wrong. She plays the princess in House of the Dragon. I believe she has a role on House of the Dragon, is where she was known. If I have the right person, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% always right, but I try to recognize certain people. She looks very, very different right there, dressed as Supergirl, and I think that's a testament again to the way James Gunn knows how to cast his actors for his roles. It should be good. It should be good. It should tie directly in to the Superman movie that we're going to see this year. And it's going to be the first time that we see Jason Momoa cast as Lobo.
Ooh, we talked
And
about that. He is a perfect.
Yeah, everybody already thought that, right? So it was really a no-brainer. He was already a part of the DC universe from previous, being Aquaman in the Justice League. He's a known loved celebrity out there. He's swole already naturally. So, casting him for a superhero role is nothing short of common sense, and to literally cast him as the space biker when he's already pretty much a biker. Again, it really only makes sense. All you had to do is make his face pale, give him some red eyes, and he's already Lobo. If you look at the way Lobo was drawn in the comics, and you stick a picture of Jason Momoa next to Lobo, you don't have to do much.
I'm still gonna be looking for Aquaman.
I don't know. I think he'll be able to sell it. I think once you see him as Lobo, he's even more believable as that, because he's gonna be even more natural in this character.
We got to see. Right now, I'm thinking Aquaman. I'm be like, look at Aquaman.
Yeah. Till you see him come out as it. You know how they've been doing really good with these costumes. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. From the early 2000s to now, these costumes are getting better and better. There it is. Yeah, show the world. Jason Momoa as Lobo is basically what everybody wanted to see. Right? This is going to be, I think, the most anticipated character casting since we found out Ryan Reynolds was playing Deadpool and bringing back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Like when everybody found out he was coming back for one more movie, the level of excitement that got hyped up for Deadpool and Wolverine, I think this will hit that. This will achieve that level. And I think Supergirl will be, I think it will do better to replace, I think, the fan reaction to Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 84.
The last one was not received well,
Right.
right?
That's my whole point.
Mhm.
That's my whole point. James Gunn is good with the action, right? It's not going to lose nothing. He's also very good with continuity. He knows how to keep the storyline moving in the right direction.
I think that's been DC's
And I
biggest
think,
fall. The downside of DC, like something seems off. You know what I
well,
mean?
that and always being too dark. Too dark. They think
Yeah.
just because Batman is dark that they all have to be dark. Nah, man. Superman was never supposed to be dark. And I said that as well as I thought Henry Cavill played the role. I said the reaction was going to dim because it was too grim and dark, not only visually, but the movie had a grim tone to it, right? Superman is supposed to have a hopeful, joyous tone to him. And that's exactly what they're supposed to be bringing back with James Gunn's version, right? And again, the big major star of this whole major universe, David Cornsweet's got to be relatively new, right? Goes back to what I said last week about them always casting a relatively unknown when I was talking about He-Man, right? David Cornsweet, he looks like a pretty good Superman. I can honestly tell you, as much TV and movies and streaming as I watched, I had no idea who this man was. And y'all know me. I know a lot of people, right? Here's the trick to it. You always find the next great talent to play these roles because you need them to last for a while. And I'm going to tell you where it started. It started with Mark Hamill playing Luke Skywalker. Nobody really knew who he was. He had been in plays on Broadway, and his cousin or sister was an Olympic skater, right? Dorothy Hamill. Nobody knew him. People began to only think of him as Luke Skywalker, to the point where he talked about how hard it was for him to get other roles, right?
Got typecasted.
Christopher Reeve had been making a decent name for himself. He made a decent name for himself a little bit before he played Superman for the first time. But that's, again, up and coming, recognizing the great talent. It's like picking somebody number one in the draft, right? The next guy, right? David Cornsweet telling you they think he's going to be Cooper Flag. They think he's the number one draft pick to play Superman, right? He's probably done a few things. If we look him up, he's probably got some professional credit. He's probably been in some things that we thought he was really good in and just had no idea. Oh, snap, that's him? Most of these guys are like that. Hugh Jackman. Nobody knew who Hugh Jackman was before he played Wolverine.
I got to think back because that was a long.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm thinking too. Like,
because that was 2000. Because that's the year 2000, right? He played that role now for 25 years. Why? Because you can't picture another face in that role. You can't picture another voice perfecting Wolverine's voice. He was a number one draft pick because he had been on, I think Broadway, or he's Australian and whatnot. So trust me, he's got a history of professional gigs. He was the number one draft pick, though. He was the because if you recall, he was the talent that carried the movie. You have Patrick Stewart, and then what's my man, Gandalf, Sir Ian McKellen,
Halle Berry.
playing Magneto. So you and some really big names. You had Halle Berry, right? But who did we fall for? Who, when they first said anything about X-Men coming out in the movies, even back then, thank you. It was the Claws. We were waiting on Wolverine.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the main carrying character. When it's the backbone character, it's got to be the up and comer. It's got to be the number one draft pick. It's got to be Jordan out of North Carolina. Right?
Real quick. So I had the trailer queued up for the new Superman. But you just said Cavill did a great job, you think. Right? Do you think
I love Henry Cavill as Superman.
So is he too old now? Is that what you're saying? Like they had to start fresh. They needed someone younger so they could do a few sequels, make it a trilogy or whatever. Or do you
keep it
think
going.
He is starting to get a little bit older, but they digitally make these people younger on screen all the time just by airbrushing their face. But no. Him not being Superman anymore is purely contractual and business decision behind the scenes. Them and James Gunn in the studio house, they just didn't work it out. Right? If you look at his reactions, I'm giving you my synopsis of it. I'm not putting words in his mouth, but if you look at the way he reacted and his responses in the interviews after they really were breaking the news that he wasn't going to be playing Superman, he made it seem almost just like when a guy gets traded and he sees it on the news first before he gets the phone call. He was like, they really just weren't trying to holler at me about staying as Superman, right? It was like James Gunn's vision of Superman was just completely different, and Henry just wasn't it, right? And to be quite honest, that's all right. That's perfectly okay. But again, when you were already in the role, it does seem like a professional courtesy, for the new guy to step in to at least give you a call and say, "Hey, man, I'm just thinking I want to go in a different direction. I want a fresh face."
Mm-hmm.
Again, I need the number one draft pick. I don't need somebody that's already got playoff experience. You're not going to play my way. You're going to be Superman the way you think you need to be Superman, which is pretty much going to be the way you've been Superman in the other movies. If I'm giving it what I feel like James Gunn's mentality would be. Nah, I need somebody fresh that's going to take my direction.
I'm definitely getting Cavill vibes though, for sure. Like they look like they could be related. I guess I need to see them side by side, but I'm just saying I'm getting the same.
Well,
vibe.
I think that is a basic requirement for playing Superman. You got to have the chiseled chin. You gotta have the natural brunette, right? You gotta have this stern yet hopeful look on your face, like a boyish. It's gotta be strong but boyish at the same time, right? You gotta look like a Boy Scout that can bench press 500.
Hey,
That's
that got
how
me
I see it.
So we just discussed that Momoa is gonna be like he's made to play Lobo. Anyone else come to mind
Absolutely.
who is made to play Superman?
I don't see it. I don't know.
You know
You get to
what?
play Superman.
If I'm looking down the list of all the guys that played Superman so far, I think Brandon Routh doesn't get enough credit for embodying, I'd say, a continuation of the Christopher Reeve version of Superman, right? If you put Brandon Routh and Christopher Reeve's versions of Superman next to each other, it was the same. If you recall when they brought out Superman Returns, like the credits, the way they brought in it was an exact homage to the previous series with Christopher Reeve, right? All the way down to the filming. They had different actors playing the roles. And they even made Lex Luthor look a little different, even though they did show Gene Hackman lose his hair back then in the older movies. They did show him lose his hair. And they showed that he was wearing a wig at a couple of points in time just to show that he had hair. And I think that's why they let Jesse Eisenberg have hair. Again, they like to throw those little Easter eggs back and forth, to show respect of this is what they did in the previous movies. We're going to do a version of that. Right. And it like that. I've always loved that. I always thought directors and producers were kind of geniuses for being able to just toss in those little bitty Easter eggs. Right. But Superman Returns, Brandon Routh's version of Superman, was literally a continuation. It was the same version of Superman that Christopher Reeve played. Like that whole, again, the filmography, all of it. I'm in cinematography, excuse me. All of it. The way they made the movie, right? They wanted you to feel like you were watching what they made 4 movies back then. They wanted you to feel like you were watching Superman 5, right? So I give him a lot of props for that. Outside of that, I mean, Cavill for me looks like the dopest Superman we've seen to me. He looked believable as somebody that could punch a hole through a mountain. You know what I mean? Like that, the way they made him step up his muscular structure and work out, the way they built the suit material, the way they kind of detached, like what they did with Henry Cavill's version of Superman was explored more of him actually being not from Earth. So how you got earthling emotions and you're not from Earth? I know you were raised here on Earth, but you don't think that somebody from a completely different galaxy might develop different feelings about certain things, like or have a different level of detachment? You know what I mean? Like they got a little bit more. I mean, and I get that, right? They did. They made him a baby. He crashed to Earth as a baby, and he was raised here as a child, right? And he's a humanoid version, but yet again, to at least be human, but not quite, right? And I think they just chose to play that out psychologically in the way he dealt with things.
Adaptation.
Right? In the grim and solemn way he felt like he was still alone. You know what I mean? That type of psychological burden on somebody's mind of knowing who you are and now knowing, especially as a girl, right? Because he gets to discover his whole history. Right? His father's AI in the ship that he crashed in, right? In that version of Superman, he hid his own ship. He found it, hid it. He'd already known that. We watched him grow up in that one. So he had a whole discovery. And now understands that he's not like any of the billions of people down there. There's a reason why he can fly. There's a reason why he's so much stronger. There's a reason why his body is dense but light at the same time. There's a reason why he's got the type of vision he's got, and nobody else on the planet can measure up. Nobody even comes close with these type of abilities. They gave him the psychological burden of being alone. No other version of Superman played that.
So who's your favorite version of Superman, man? You might have said that, but I don't think you picked.
It's Cavill. This is the one. Cavill's the one for me. I enjoyed his version, right? I thought they went. I like the psychological aspect.
I'm definitely Christopher Reeves all day. You know what I'm saying? Like I can never get over the classic, but for me, I did like Cavill's role and what he played. Like Chris said, it was a little bit darker, but for me, I like Holchin. I like what he did for the TV series for Superman. What's it called? What was it? Superman and Lois?
Oh yeah, Superman and Lois. Yeah,
I did enjoy that TV series. So I couldn't hear you. What you say?
Lois and Clark.
Lois and Clark. Yeah.
No. Superman and Lois. This is brand new. Yeah. You took it back to the 90s with that one.
yeah. Lois and Clark is Tyler Hoechlin. Hoechlin, is that how he's, or Hoechlin?
No,
I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Don't let me butcher it.
Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois. That's what I'm talking about. Superman and Lois.
Okay, yeah. No. Eddie had said Lois and Clark, but that's from the 90s. That's from the 90s.
Right.
Dean Cain.
Yeah.
Terry Hatcher.
That's Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher right there.
Right. But see, nobody talks about. See, you remember that show, but nobody talks about Superboy, and that came out in the 90s too, or maybe the late 80s, early 90s.
Superboy,
nobody talks about that TV show.
Hey, funny
Yeah, that
thing.
came out on
It didn't last long. It didn't take off. Yeah, we didn't get enough of it for it to really stick.
How many people have played Superman? I don't have the exact number, but I'm just curious what y'all think. Because if I
want to say it's like 9,
maybe 10 or 11.
Yeah,
maybe 10 or 11.
Like 5. What you think, Q?
Probably about 13. It's a lot.
There's a lot. Check this out.
Well, if you consider who the different guys that play his animated voice in the DC animated movies, there's probably a few more. Yeah.
You got George Reeves. Where my boy George Reeves at? There you go, right there in the black and white picture. George Reeves. I remember watching some of his shows as a kid. George Reeves.
And there's Brandon Routh. I had to look it up because I'm like, Brandon Routh, like, who is that? So it's all
now if you look at him and you look at the picture of Christopher Reeve up above him, right next to Henry Cavill, you see what I'm saying? Like, they cast Brandon Routh because he had a similar build, look, and feel to Christopher Reeve.
I see that.
Who is that? Oh, Tom Welling.
I didn't realize Matt Bomer played him.
Tom don't look like Tom no more, but okay.
Jack Quaid is his voice on My Adventures with Superman, another series on HBO Max. I don't think that one was James Gunn either. I think they slipped that one in a little bit before him. I don't know. We might have talked about that early on episodes ago. It's an anime style version.
Eddie, they don't have Nicolas Cage on there?
They do.
Oh, they do have him? I can't see. Oh, okay. I see. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of
I think that's hilarious.
Nicolas Cage was Superman.
Animated.
The movie never came out, but he was officially cast in the role. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Teen Titans Go. I
was about to say I ain't never seen that one.
Oh, speaking of Nicolas Cage, Side note, real quick, while we're looking at all the different Superman actors, that's a lot more than what I thought too. Spider-Man
Yeah.
Noir.
Did you remember
Anybody? MC Knight.
MC Nice? NICE? I don't know if you see that on the screen.
Yeah.
All right, what were you saying, Chris?
Nicolas Cage. Maybe we can pull that up too. Maybe we could find some footage of it. But because I was just surfing on social media either yesterday or today and ran across Spider-Man Noir filming where he's riding on a classic car with spidey webs and doing some stunt action, and they were talking about how Nicolas Cage was going to kill that role. Because if y'all recall, in the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse movies, the Miles Morales Spider-Man movies, the animated, Nicolas Cage plays Spider-Man Noir, which is the black and white Spider-Man that is basically from the past, I guess.
For some reason, I thought they killed that, or they're going to go straight to Disney Plus. No?
Yeah, I believe it's supposed to be a series. It's not a movie.
Ah.
I think it's supposed to be a streaming series coming to Disney Plus. The rumor mill is that Nicolas Cage is still playing that role.
I'm sure he is. That guy seems to be very powerful in Hollywood.
I'm just saying. Oh, yeah. Don't forget that last name.
You see that? Marvel Zombies?
Oh, yeah.
My bad.
And I don't want to preempt it, so I may save some of these announcements for next week, but there are several Marvel movies and shows that were rumored to have been canceled that look like they're back on the slate. So
really,
I'm going to do some more digging, and we should have some more announcements. Yeah, okay. It does look like you found it.
Which one got canceled?
Yeah, this is going to go crazy.
Is it from like the multiverse?
Ironheart. They're talking about maybe Blade is back, but that's the one that they're still talking might be iffy. But they're thinking he might be back because the rumor has it Midnight Suns is back on the slate for production, and Blade is supposed to be a part of that. So yeah,
they need to bring back
Blade. There's a few things. Yeah,
like that might be.
We need another Blade.
Exactly. That's what Marvel's missing right now. Like they just need something to shake it up, kind of like a Deadpool. You know what I mean? Where it's just a little bit different.
So look, how about that? How about DC is really good at making all of their movies dark, and Marvel has trouble dealing with dark subject matter in their movies, because New Mutants did not go as well as they wanted it to. Right? And I think that was still Fox. That may have been in the X-Men line with Fox. So that may also have been a strong indicator as to why the movies turned out the way they did. Just, I don't know. It's something about after Disney took Marvel up under their wing. It's like the budget, the production. It's just they're just going so much harder. It's like the big company, man. The big company took the production and made it large. So, and I'm thinking, and I think what is it? The Young Avengers is still slated to be in the works, and I think that was one of the things that was rumored to have been canceled as well. So, yeah, we should see some versions of some of the younger kids, and they've displayed a couple of them out there, Haley Stanfield's version of Hawkeye being the girl, like she's supposed to be a part of it. Riri Williams again, Ironheart coming back. She should be, I believe, a part of that. you know, being the younger version of Iron Man, if you will. So, you know, just stay tuned. Stay tuned for some more developments. You know, I'm always checking the rumor mill. I always got my scopes on.
That's the source right there, for real. Hey, let me ask. So again, I've talked about this before. Marvel all day. DC, get into it. Again, different type of movie, especially if you're thinking like Marvel, comics, fun, that sort of thing. Adding James Gunn, I mean, I imagine that, you know, DC is going to start, you know, shifting, getting more popular. I mean, are you seeing that? Or because he's already worked on a couple movies,
Well,
right? Or no, none yet.
they're going to get brighter. I believe he had something to do with a few of the movies in the past. No. The only thing he's completed so far is Creature Commandos.
Okay, I was gonna say, don't say
He's been
Justice.
putting all his concentration into the Superman release.
Hey, look, I'm waiting on Green Lantern. My boy, I can't think of his name, but my boy that did Rebel Ridge for Netflix.
Lanterns and
He's
Aaron
gonna
Pierre.
be be playing. Yeah, he's gonna be playing John Stewart. That's gonna be dope. I remember
Aaron
a
Pierre
few
is
years
John
ago.
Stewart. Kyle Chandler is Hal Jordan.
I remember years ago they were Tyrese was trying to champion for the role of John Stewart, but I guess that didn't go too well. But with this guy coming out doing Rebel Ridge and he just did like numbers on Netflix from that movie itself, that's gonna be crazy. Who is that?
Again,
That ain't
another up and comer.
That
That is
ain't
not it.
it, bro.
Yeah, what was that?
That ain't it. Hey,
That, just,
just no. I'm
that
sorry.
looks like it's gonna be a whole nother type of movie.
A whole nother direction.
Bro,
I put in
was
Green
that on
Lantern,
Tubi?
DC, so we could pull this up and get a nice visual. And I'm getting
That was on P-Hub.
DC, bro.
Oh no, look up. I believe the series is going to be called Lanterns
What?
because it's supposed to be about the core itself. Lanterns.
Lanterns?
Yes. Just type in lanterns.
Okay, I'm getting TV right here.
There you go. That should be the one.
Oh, that's
And I believe Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner should be showing up in this one as well.
I'm assuming it's going to be HBO Max, right? Yeah, everything
I
is.
want to say yeah. It should be, yeah. DC has been on HBO Max pretty much since HBO Max has come into existence.
Yeah. Nicole Ari Parker? What?
All right. She's a fan favorite.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
I don't have
Boris
to tell y'all
Kojo's not in
why.
it. Boris Kojo's not in it.
What's up, T?
No, I was saying Boris Kojo's not in it. That's crazy.
He
Hey,
could actually
gotta
been a
have a
decent
role.
John Stewart.
Hey, he's everywhere right now, man. I'm seeing him just like
No, well, not just Boris Kojo. What's my guy from Marvel's Agents of Shield? What was the black guy's name? He's been on the daytime
Henry
soap opera.
Simmons.
Yeah. He would have done a good job too.
Henry Simmons.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he would have made a pretty decent John Stewart. Yeah. I agree. I think he'd be a good pick for Bishop.
I didn't think about that one.
If we can
I always
bring Bishop to the forefront.
But look though,
in a
I
speaking
always
role.
thought Method Man for Bishop. I always thought Method Man, but yeah,
I could see that too. And I
think Method Man
actually
tried to
also
petition
saw
for
The
that.
Rock. I saw The Rock as Bishop, but now definitely, especially since Method done swole up in his older age,
but
he's
now
been hitting the gym super hard.
Hey,
since Black Adam didn't do as good as it should have, when you're talking about The Rock, I could possibly see The Rock maybe playing Namor this go round and trying that one out. Right? Marvel's version of Aquaman to a certain degree.
Nah, but they like the guy that they casted though, my man Tenoch Huerta. Like he embodying like the South American,
the
like
Aztec,
they running.
Yeah, the Aztec. Yeah.
They're bringing him forward in the rest of the Marvel phases. Like he's
all right.
he was received very well.
You said the
then let's give my bad, Eddie. Then I was gonna say then let's give The Rock the role of Mr. Sinister there.
Nah, Mr. Sinister is not that kind of a like that. Now you're asking The Rock to take on like an intellectual role.
I thought Mr. Sinister had. I go based on like looks and hairdo. So when you said Bishop, again, I might be wrong. I was a kid, but I thought he had like a mullet. You know, he had like the mullet thing going, kind of flat top mullet.
Well, there was a version of Bishop where he kind of had some long curly hair and made you think he had, some different cultures mixed in his blood and everything like that. But there's also a version of Bishop that's bald.
Really?
There's a version of Bishop that's bald with the same M tattooed right there. Yeah. And that's what I was thinking about for The Rock. Being bald, he could play that version of Bishop, that post-apocalyptic version. Like that's the classic X-Men look.
That's
Bishop.
what I remember. So there's a bald one. Let me see.
Yeah,
we want Bishop with the Jerry curl, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The CB4 look. Chris Rock.
Bring back Stoney Jackson.
Stoney Jackson. Oh man.
Man, who gonna wear a Jerry curl to play Bishop?
What's your boy? Alexander, who played Michael Jackson. What's his name? 1-on-1.
What's that? Flex.
Flex Alexander. Yeah.
What they probably do is give him dreads. They probably make him wear dreads.
Yeah. I was gonna say
that's what they did in
Master Flex
in Days of Future Past. The version of Bishop, nobody really even recognized him. He was a dark-skinned black dude with dreads. He was in that movie.
Yeah, the Brazilian capoeira.
With the uncle from Snowfall.
Since we're talking about movies and stuff, I'm gonna take it in another direction. How about the Minecraft movie? What have y'all heard? Anything? Nothing? Q say nah.
Not even caught my attention.
Minecraft.
I mean, it was. Look, my kid doesn't even ask me to see that. He hasn't said anything about that movie, and I thought about taking him to go to the movies to see it, and he hadn't even thought about it. And I'm like, wait a minute, ain't this movie supposed to be good? They said it was good.
I mean, it made all that money.
It fizzled out fast.
What was that, Chris?
I said it seems to have fizzled out fast.
Maybe PR spin. Hey, they made all this money. Go check it out. And it's like, hey, the movie sucks.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But again, that was Jason Momoa, and everybody was shocked to see him play that role.
He's coming up, man. It seems like Rock is taking a back seat, and someone else can hop in and take that role, that action superstar, superhero.
Yeah. You got to have somebody that big, right? What do you think? Who do you think should be James Gunn's Batman?
Keanu Reeves.
Too old.
I think Keanu Reeves is picking up the role of I forgot somebody from DC. No. It's a character from DC. Whatever role Will Smith had played. Oh, I can't think of the dude's name.
Deadshot?
Hancock? Hancock?
Yeah, I think
Hancock,
it's
yeah.
Deadshot.
Nah.
No. I think it's Deadshot.
Deadshot.
I could be wrong.
Deadshot. Yeah, Floyd Lawton. That's who Will Smith played.
Yeah, I think Keanu Reeves might be in a position for that. I believe. Could be wrong.
I mean, the original comic version of Deadshot, the OG Floyd Lawton is a white guy. So, I mean, he's not far off. I mean, he just would need a whole lot less bullets than he did in John Wick. But, you know,
I found
fits.
the
See, that's my
He's action guy.
that's a problem that I honestly have now. Like when a person takes on that role and they play it so good, and I see him in something else, I'm always seeing him as that. Like he's always gonna be John Wick. I don't care what else he plays in. Look at John Wick.
That's why I was thinking he wouldn't be cast in one of these because, yeah, he's already, like, he would give you too much familiarity. Like, in a role like Deadshot, he would make you feel like you were watching John Wick all
Right.
over again.
Yeah.
Because, again, Deadshot is the name of his game. You know, all he uses is bullets. I mean, he can fight too, but not missing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's a few characters, which is funny. I've always thought that was unique, that there are a few different ways that they play a super ability of never missing. Right? With your aim, like super aim. Because again, Daredevil Born Again, that's Bullseye. Right? But he don't even need bullets. That man to pick up a pencil and ricochet it and catch you in the side of the temple, right? You've got Domino in Marvel, who it's really not even that she has superior aim. She has a luck factor. That's her mutant ability. So again, she never misses. So she carry around some pistols because she's so lucky she ain't never missed a shot. Right? That's Domino. And you got Hawkeye, who's doing it with bow and arrows and Green Arrow. Right? Again, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Hawkeye, he's either the luckiest superhero in the world or it really is something to this never missing thing. You know? Who else you got? Longshot, Shatterstar. There's a few of them out there where their only characteristic is that they never miss a shot.
I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
Hey, what now?
I was just saying, man, anytime Hawkeye gets brought up, I just start like laughing inside and just chuckling because kind of he's there, you know what I mean? But I don't know. He comes through clutch in the movies, though. I get that, but still.
And that's the point. That's the whole point, right there. Is what you said. He comes through clutch every time. You got people that can change themselves to the size of a building, and for some reason, he's got something in the quiver to like freeze the guy's foot to the ground, or hit him with a million electric volts that he'll still knock the guy down, or an exploding arrow to the side of a building and knock a big boulder into. Like his never miss is serious, right? The way they display his never miss is he always hits the right target every single time. Right? It's not that he just never misses his target. He knows which target to shoot. He knows the right decision to make. He don't miss up here.
All right, what do you guys think about Static Shock being on one of those comeback lists?
I need him on the comeback list. I need a live action Static Shock.
Pull that up.
I need a live action Virgil Hawkins. Why? Because we need a live action Ebon. Don't make me get into that. Don't make me get into that with y'all. Woo! We need a live action Rubber Band Man and Ebon. Yeah.
Static Shock. That's the same thing as Black Lightning.
No,
He's
but it's close
basically a
to it.
younger version, but it's different.
Right.
It's different because Black Lightning, he actually manipulates the lightning within himself. Static has an unlimited capacity to hold a static charge.
Those are very,
He
very different powers.
stat, but they both manifested similar. Like they both can just stand in the middle of the street and just yank power out of the lights.
Ah, okay.
Right? They can both be just near electricity and attract it and pull it. They both recharge that way.
What y'all think of that?
But
Is
yeah,
Static Shock more powerful than Black Lightning?
no. Nah. Black Lightning is so powerful, he can knock out other electric power based people. I
Yes.
don't know if y'all ever seen, I don't know how closely y'all pay attention to the cartoons, but if y'all are familiar with who Livewire is, he beat the snot out of her. I mean, you know, the girl with superpowers, so not like we talking about, like he ain't really like abusively beat her, but power for power, he knocked her out with his Black Lightning. He beat her down pretty good.
When did that
Livewire's a
happen?
bad guy.
2000s or
That's in one of the cartoons. I think that's in one of the Young Justice cartoons.
was she in the Batman
I
cartoon?
think that was in Young Justice. Superman. She came from Superman, the animated series, which was, I don't know if you remember, it took a few years for them to do it, but it was directly paired in with Batman, the animated series. Because then they also started bringing them together. They started crossing them over.
This animation is just very reminiscent of what I remember Batman being. So I'm like, oh, maybe she was in Batman.
Because it was the same. That was my whole point. They were tied in, but was Livewire ever on Batman? I don't think she was. I think she first showed up on Superman, the animated series.
I'm feeling
But
the
yeah,
Lego.
those two were definitely. Oh yeah.
Look at it. She got chains and black leather and everything.
Yeah, she don't play. Livewire is a major player. She's pretty strong, right? Because she's another one. She could just be in the room and suck electricity out of the socket. Doesn't matter. Like she's tough, and that was my point. Black Lightning's lightning, Black Lightning's electricity knocked her out.
Wow.
And she is an electric-based character.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't sure if she was ice, but again, that makes sense. Livewire. Hello.
Yeah. She got her powers the same way. I think Electro from Spider-Man got his. Like it was just like some kind of plant accident, and she ends up getting shot and becomes this being that can almost transform. If she absorbs enough energy, she can transform into pure energy and travel through the wires and all that kind of stuff, just like Electro. So when I mean she has the capability to be overpowered, she does. And again, Black Lightning knocked her out. Black Lightning is OG. He's OG in the comics. Like he's older than the Super Friends comics, right? But they had copyright infringement issues with him showing up somewhere else. I'm blurry on the history, but the reason why, if you go back to the very OG Super Friends cartoons, the reason why Black Lightning is not Black Lightning there is because of that copyright problem that they had behind the scenes, where some other entity still had rights to it, right? So they were holding it back. They weren't letting DC have total rights. So they created Black Vulcan. but he was basically the exact same. He was basically Black Lightning, right? But they had to draw him a little different. They gave him a helmet, mask, and all that kind of stuff. If you go back and you look at the old Super Friends cartoon, like he partnered up with Flash a lot because of their speed.
That's funny you say that because I'm literally looking at old pictures of Black Lightning. All right, hold up.
Yeah, there's a whole history behind that.
So this is like the OG one right here?
Yep.
I like that.
There it is. You can see it. You know when they drew him with an afro. That was back in the day.
Yeah. I'm digging his whole fit too, his costume. All right, here's Super Friends.
And if you notice, if you go back and look at the OG Power Man, Luke Cage drawings, very similar.
I'll look that up next.
Like some black biblical OG Samson creator character. And it was, oh man, it's just like they put the blaxploitation films in the animation. It's hilarious.
What is this?
Yep. There you go. You see that black guy next to the Native American?
Right there?
There you go. Yep. See, at the top, you got Hawkman, Hawkgirl. I believe that's the Atom, Tsunami, Black Vulcan, and Apache Chief. And then, of course, everybody knows the OGs down there at the bottom. There you go. Yeah, that's the classic. And that's even the later version where they had the extra characters that nobody knew. There's the made-up characters, like the dog and the two kids on the side. Yeah.
We need more characters.
We already had the Wonder Twins.
Oh, I got
We
you.
already had the
I got
Wonder
you.
Twins.
Who do you think, since we're talking about DC right now, who do you think could play Martian Manhunter?
Sterling K. Brown, all day. Don't even think about nobody else. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Lock it in.
Which character?
Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter. You know who else would be a really good cast for Martian Manhunter?
Even though he was already on Supergirl and the other junk. Who?
Mr. I'm on the comeback right now. Jonathan Majors would be a great Martian Man.
Oh, yeah. Jonathan Majors could play him. Yeah.
He'd be freaking fantastic.
I thought you were going to say Will Smith.
Martian Manhunter.
Nah.
No, I wasn't going based on the character. I was going based on, you said comeback. So I just thinking, oh, must be Will Smith. Is he trying to come back?
Yeah, no. We're familiar. It's a lot more of us still having to make comebacks than just Will.
Hey, he trying so hard. Got to give him, respect.
He just got to keep his head down. He just got to shut up for a little bit. Shut up and do your work. That's all you got to do. Shut up and do your work, and don't flip out on nobody no more.
Cause he tried like Bad Boys 3. He was at like the Grammys. Dude was like everywhere, man, just trying to like get his foot back in the door, man. And everyone like, nope.
I mean, did y'all see the last Bad Boys? I thought it was dope. I loved it.
Yeah, last Bad Boys was dope.
Was it?
Man, the way Reggie went through that crib, the way Reggie handled them intruders in the house, boy. Reggie get to cook that chicken on the grill, boy.
Reggie said it
But not only that, Will Smith is also making a comeback as Fresh Prince through his music, his new music.
Yeah,
I've been peeping that out for a couple of weeks.
Oh,
It's different though.
He's been killing folk stuff. He's been jumping on stuff record. You heard the one with him and Jordan Lucas?
Yeah, yeah. But well, he been doing
Oh,
songs with Jonah
he
for a
been
while.
he been messing
He been
with
doing
Jordan
songs with
for a
Jonah
few
for like a
years
few
now.
years. Yeah,
Right, but
for
the
a few
recent
years.
stuff.
So,
I'm talking about the recent stuff.
oh yeah, it's dope. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Jonah is also writing for him too. So he's been doing that for a few years as well. So yeah,
Mhm.
Will definitely locked in, man. He's locked in. Definitely
Yeah.
locked in.
He said he
There's
personally
a
called Jay-Z, and who else did he say he called? Was it Chris
Nas,
Brown?
I think it was. No, it was Jay-Z. No, it was Jay-Z and Nas, wasn't it? Wasn't it Nas too? Because I think he said something about Nas as well.
It wasn't Nas. It was another major character. It was another huge figure, but it was Jay-Z and somebody else.
It might have been Chris Brown. But I could have sworn he said something about Nas though.
Or was it Wayne? Did he call Wayne? I think it might have been Lil
No.
Wayne. But and he came with the same cliche stuff because he's not gonna say the real advice that they gave him, right? Just be yourself, tell your truth, tell your story, yada yada yada. That's all he said they gave him. But the point was he called them first. I guess and you know what that was all about. He played them some stuff. Anytime you doing that and say, I need your advice. Well, it's because it's called listen to what I've done and tell me if you think this is good enough to go. And I guess, I don't know, it looks like they gave him an okay because that album's steamrolling now. Like he's actually putting promo behind it and making appearances and increasing his social media presence again.
Wait, I'm sleeping.
Showing up.
Because I heard he was working on something, or he like dropped an album. He already dropped it.
Well, when is the release date?
Based on a true story.
I do think that's the one that he's working on right now, and it's supposed to be. When did it say it released? Did it say it's out already?
Yeah, a few weeks back, March 28th.
Okay. So I'm a little slow to the party. But yeah, this is the one. And I think that song that he did in the video he released is a part of this project. With the song he did with the Spanish girl in the video and everything. And everybody was like getting on him because he caught a little backlash because like actors do, they had a scene where it looked like they was kissing in the video.
I heard about that.
On stage and stuff in the dance performance. So it was like, ain't you married? Ain't you already in enough trouble? Ain't you this? Ain't you that? And I was just like, see, people just look for any reason to stir the pot. Like, Goodwill is acting. This is acting. But we'll see. I'll go back and check it out. And I will be ready to give my honest opinion. If we want to make that a segment, we can discuss it next week as a part of next week's show.
Yeah.
Everybody got some homework to do. Check out Will's album.
What's going on next week again? Remind anybody that might be tuning in. Who's joining us?
Oh, is that our special guest?
Mm-hmm.
The author of the My Vampire System. If you haven't seen any of this stuff on Pocket FM or caught wind of him on Web Novel, which I'm sure you have, with 15 million, downloads, readers, or followers? I don't know. 15 million is one of them numbers. I don't even care what it is. It's 15 million.
Yeah.
Looking at my eyes. You understand me? 15 million people on this story. Okay? You can't ask for anything better than that. And whatever it is, he's doing something right. Right? So we'll get a chance to find out what that is next week. live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Ooh, I'm about to go crazy.
Wait.
Almost couldn't tell time for a second.
All right. So definitely looking forward to that. What else you guys got?
Well,
The only thing I have now is
always.
What's up, T?
No, go ahead, Chris. No, I was gonna say the only thing I got now is maybe next week or the week after, introducing a brand new character for the book series, you know, and what's going on with TMH Comics. But there's a new character that's getting ready to be introduced. Khalil Kareem Jackson, also known or goes by KK in the hood. But yeah, I'll clue you guys in more about that as soon as this is completed. But new character on deck, new character unlocked coming soon.
KK?
That's about it.
The saga continues.
KK.
Yeah.
KK. Yes, sir.
Find all of your TMH comics on Spotify and Amazon, and now beginning with Web Novel. We are loading up on Web Novel currently as we speak. So you can get them on all 3 platforms. Check out the Light Talk podcast every Tuesday on YouTube. And soon, again, we're going to be linking with the other social media networks, so you'll be able to catch us live through Instagram soon. You'll be able to catch us on Facebook Watch soon. We will get that all figured out. To the viewers, please, again, like, share, subscribe, comment. We want to hear from you. We appreciate you. Without y'all and your opinions, the movies wouldn't get made, the books wouldn't get written, and the podcast wouldn't get podcasted, right? So we love you, we appreciate you, and we bless you, and we thank the Lord that you're here for us. All right? I'm CJ the Beat God.
I'm Eddie.
That's Ed's POV. My man Gorilla Hefe. And the illustrious creator of TMH Comics, my man TMH right there. As always, we appreciate y'all, and we thank y'all for tuning in to the TMH Comics Light Talk podcast.
Yeah.
Peace.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.
Ooh.
Wait.
I like that TMH Live logo.
I'm sorry. We want to start here. We want to start here, right?
Nice. TMH Comics presents TMH Live.
And this could be running in the background. Oh. All right. What's up? What's
Yeah,
up?
I like that. I like that visual. You made those visuals?
Which one? Yeah.
Nice. That's nice design.
I just put it together real quick too. Again, we could really tweak it out and stay on brand. But that's like phase 1.5, I guess. Probably
Yeah,
really
I'm with
big.
it.
All right. What's up, everybody? We're back. Finally. It's a new year, 2025.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
What's up, world?
So we're a little
What's
light.
up, all our listeners?
Yeah, what's up? What's up? Go for it, CJ.
Oh, like you said, we were a little bit light today. We've got a 3-man crew going. Really a 2-man presentation, but this is TMH Comics, the podcast. We've got a lot of exciting things going. Starting off with crap, I just had a brain freeze.
Let's go around the
What was
horn
the
real
first
quick.
one?
I mean,
What are we gonna play?
Yeah. So I think once we have the rest of the team, it'd be a good idea to at least give a quick intro, at least for anybody checking us out, who we are, what we're doing here, what our, why we're here. But again, with just us three, I don't think that really makes sense. But anyways, I'm Eddie. You got CJ.
I'm CJ.
Yep. And Terrence, the man, the myth, the legend. He's on mute though. He's caught up in some stuff, but he'll be chiming in here.
Listening in.
Yeah.
He's here though.
But yeah, we're coming in weekly. Next week, we are going to have the whole squad here. I don't know if you guys heard on the news, but there's a crazy blizzard right now, and it's affecting the South, including ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, where most of our team is based. And so they're holed up right now. They're basically in the house, waiting for this storm to pass.
We are currently stuck in the house. Yes.
Oh, and before we kick things off, quick announcement. Let's see here. Where is it? Up? Just learning this whole thing. Where'd it go? Oh, wait. If you're enjoying the music, original music right here, our very own CJ, the Beat God, absolutely killing it right now. We're doing the comic book thing 100%. So if you love comics, definitely, come check for us. Subscribe right now. But we're also doing a lot of other things. We got the music thing popping off right now too. So stay tuned for all that. That's a whole nother topic though, right? We're going to keep it relevant and stick to the comics for now. But eventually you're going to see a lot more entertainment info, music info, all that good stuff.
Most definitely.
All right.
We'll keep those features.
I think with that, we got a little ticker here down at the bottom. Again, meet the team. We're going to punt that until the rest of the squad's here. But there's some other exciting news, right? We got a couple things here on the agenda. We got Red Hulk. We've got Superman. And a surprise announcement, which is pretty
Marvel is getting back to the basics and bringing it back to Earth. A lot of people are excited about that.
Yeah,
I think they were starting to get a little confused with all the space stuff, but that's the comic book world. It's not always going to be on Earth, right? That's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Star Wars has a whole universe. And they were definitely on different planets, right? Earth is just another planet. It just happens to be the planet where we all on. But I think the overwhelming consensus for viewership on this new Captain America is that they're happy that it's coming back down to I think a palatable form, and bringing it back to the Marvel MCU basics of earthbound action and political standpoints and hard-hitting characters that can do amazing things, like really keeping it the superhero aspect. You're right. The intro of the Red Hulk, I think, is going to be revolutionary, because with the Red Hulk in this new movie is coming the leader. And I don't know if it's in this movie or in another future Marvel movie, but some of the characters from Hulk Agents of Smash are starting to appear. Hulk has a son.
Yeah, what is that? Hulk
future,
Agent
yeah.
of Smash? I didn't even realize that.
Another cartoon from the Marvel universe that showed up. Dang, I forgot what channel they used to come on, but it was every Saturday. And I'm talking about, I'm a grown man, I'm still paying attention to this. Oh no, that was Disney. All that stuff was on Disney with the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and Agents of Smash was coming right behind it. And there was another one too. I wanted to say there was another one.
For anyone who hasn't seen the trailer, we're gonna sort that out later. But this is the Red Hulk we're talking about, right? I think it's played by Harrison Ford.
This iteration of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Keep in mind that nickname, Thunderbolt Ross, because one of the next movies coming up after this is the Thunderbolt. They're plotting on that too. Yes.
When is that coming out?
Oh, that's in the near future, but it's in the future. I think that's slated for like 2026. But Red Hulk, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. He is a general in the U.S. Army who moved on to, if you saw in the Avengers, William Hurt before he passed away in, what was it, Infinity War or Endgame? In Endgame. And he was in Captain America Civil War, for all of the Avengers movies where they needed General Ross. William Hurt was playing General Ross. And for those that aren't familiar with the comic book lore, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross is the father of Betty Ross. Betty Ross is the Hulk's girlfriend. Right? That's Bruce Banner's lady. You remember the Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton?
I don't think I watched that one. That one wasn't very good, right?
I mean, it was kind of in those beginning stages. I liked it because I like them all. I even liked the Slow Hulk with Eric Bana, and that was definitely horrible. But
I thought you were going
liked
to
it.
say no. That's where I thought you were going with it. Like his girlfriend. Oh, you remember?
Oh, that's OG.
Yeah.
That's OG. No. Liv Tyler was Betty Ross
Oh, okay.
in The Incredible Hulk. Is where I was going with that. And that's one of the first places I wanted to say that's where we saw William Hurt first show up as her father. But they had to get Harrison Ford because William Hurt passed away a few years ago. Or last year, I think. But yeah, I mean, he couldn't have made a better pick. You know, we know Harrison Ford's backstory. We know where he comes from. He's one of our greatest American action stars from the movies in the first place. He's Indiana Jones. He's Han Solo. Right? OG status. Harrison Ford is goated. And he's now about to take on the action form of Thaddeus Ross when he converts himself into Red Hulk, which is a result of, I don't know if anybody knows the story of how the Hulk came to be. OG Lou Ferrigno, there he is.
Had to pull this up, man, for all the youngins out there who don't know.
Here's some of the bigger connections that a lot of people don't know just about Marvel in general and how their stories are all linked. Bruce Banner was working on a government project under Thaddeus Ross to try to recreate a super soldier serum, and he was experimenting with gamma radiation, and that's how his accident happened.
Yeah.
Right? Peter Parker got bit by a radioactive spider because Norman Osborn and Oscorp was also working on several different ways to come up with a super soldier serum. There's a reason why I keep saying super soldier serum. And it's because when Captain America got frozen after the war with the Red Skull, when he got trapped in the ice and frozen for 70 years and everybody lost him, they immediately lost the formula too. Because as soon as Steve Rogers was turned into Captain America, somebody jumped in there and attacked everybody, and the professor, the doctor that made the serum, was shot and killed.
Damn.
His notes were burned. I hear Dice Fox playing in the background. I like that.
Switched it up.
Ever since then, every mad science experiment in the Marvel universe has almost all been an attempt to recreate the super soldier serum
That they used for Captain America.
Correct. But because they didn't have the formula, they were experimenting on several different chemicals. They had different people working on different projects, all to see if they could come up with a super soldier serum. Right? So Spider-Man and the Green Goblin are results of super soldier serum experiments. Right? And then the Red Hulk was because they still had Banner's research at the government labs, and he kept trying. He kept trying to get other people to do it. Abomination was created from Gamma research, and the rest of all the Hulk-like creatures that are coming, which is what I was saying, the leader. People don't even remember the leader was created in that same Incredible Hulk movie. As far as the MCU, in that same Incredible Hulk movie that I was talking about with Ed Norton and Liv Tyler. I can't remember the goofy looking dude's name, but he was the doctor that was trying to cure Banner of the Hulk. He was trying to separate the Hulk from Banner, right? It failed. Banner turned into the Hulk on the operating table. He swells up. He breaks everything in the room, right? Starts crushing everything because he's super heavy. He's super dense. He gets monstrously big. And some of the gamma radiation splashes my man in the head. Hopefully they're getting the same guy to come back. But that's how the leader came about. He got a dose of gamma radiation to the brain. Pardon me, y'all, while I go get my tea. You can hang with me while I go.
So what's up with the Marvel scientists then, man? They can't crack the code for that super serum.
They can't crack the code. They can't remake it. Nope. They don't know what this German scientist that defected to America was doing.
That'd be interesting if someone in the MCU cracked that code.
Well, the thing is, I think there was a reason why the specimen itself had to be special. You know what I mean? If they would have chose to inject Howard Stark with the serum, I don't think it would have worked. He would have turned out to be a super being, but he wouldn't have had the good nature. He wouldn't have had that. You know, that's why they found a guy that had self-sacrifice built in him already. Right? Because I don't know if you remember the movie, but as far as the MCU movies, they did a lot to try to perform a lot of the actions that are directly out of the book. So when they showed Steve Rogers jump on that grenade, trying to save everybody, it's because that's the way they drew it in the comic.
Yeah. So they tried to stay.
That's the way the story was written.
They tried to stay
They
pretty.
tried to stay comic book accurate, right? As best as they could, right? Some stuff you gotta convert to looking real. But those things, those action items like that, they really took it straight out of the comic book. So the fact of it is, Steve Rogers just had the biggest heart out of anybody you knew. And turning him into a super soldier was not going to change that. Right? Just think about it. The Hulk technically should be a menacing beast who's rampaging like a human form of Godzilla. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
But he's not. He's not. as destructive as he is, he still saved people. From day one, he never intentionally hurt anybody. He's just strong enough to break a tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He never attacked. He was always attacked and then had to defend himself against an F-15 fighter jet. You know, what's he supposed to do with that?
I find it interesting though how much he's evolved through each movie. Right? Where like now is it the Bruce Banner / Hulk like hybrid almost, where he's not
Smart
like
Hulk.
smash.
All of these variants were written in the comics. The only one we haven't seen yet is him turn gray.
I do remember that when I was a kid. I remember seeing that the gray one.
Gray Hulk had a long storyline too.
Oh,
and
wow.
Gray Hulk was supposed to be. Honestly, I think this Smart Hulk is kind of a variation of the way Gray Hulk was, because that's what Gray Hulk was all about. He was big and brutish, but Gray Hulk had his brain. You know, it wasn't that it wasn't never that the Green Hulk didn't have a brain either. He could understand stuff too, but he was so brutish. He wasn't a communicator. He wasn't talking. It was like he was an animal, right?
Yeah.
The Gray Hulk had more humanity in it.
So there's a lot Marvel can do with that just the Hulk storylines then.
Hulk is one of the longer storylines, right? We were talking about what comics we were. I was asking you earlier what ones you were into. When I was a kid, I got hooked on the Silver Surfer.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, dude, he was big shiny dude with the cosmic powers, and he got his powers from this big giant godlike creature. Like I was just like, man, this dude is the most powerful being we've seen. And he brought me to my second character that I got hooked on, which was Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock.
Now, when I tell you they did that man so wrong in the movie, he's in the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Oh, that's him? Look, I didn't even know.
The golden dude?
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Adam Warlock is supposed to be all powerful and almost perfect, which is why they made him a member of that golden race of people, because that was their claim too, that they were perfect beings. And then later on, I think they're waiting to develop it. Hopefully he comes back again. He'll become perfect once he acquires the Soul Stone. The Soul Stone is meant for him to wield.
I'm gonna say something, man. So we talking about comic books that really got our attention growing up as kids, man, from reading comics. So that was one of my favorite comic books, man. It wasn't Marvel, the DC.
What was yours?
It was an independent comic book. I can't remember the name of the company that did it, but the name of the superhero, his name was The Comet. And actually, Eddie, you can look that up right now.
Comet.
Yeah.
Comet, like in
Yes,
space.
yeah. The comic book. I had it here, but I can't remember I have to look for it, but I can't remember the name of the company that actually.
Oh,
published.
Impact
Comics. That's exactly what it is. Impact. Yep.
Wow.
Can you put on screen so you can show everybody who it is?
Oh, of course.
It was a dope story, man. I think they had 6 series. Probably more than 6. Yeah, that one right there. That first one right there. Yep. The comic. That's him. But it's a dope story, man. I think a lot of the independents don't get a lot of recognition, man. That's what it's a dope comic.
And here, but you know what's the crazy part? Just looking at that, I can tell you there's a DC character and a Marvel character that was modeled after that guy.
Human Torch?
Nah, Nova.
Oh, Nova. Okay. Human Torch is Fantastic Four, right?
Yep. Nova is the human laser, and the Ray for DC Comics.
I forgot that came out in the 80s. I forgot what year that book came out exactly. Okay, no, I'm lying. It was 1991.
Oh, you looking up Nova now?
That's Nova?
Yeah. And of course, you know, Nova is the same Nova Corps that were the police on Xandar in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
Also, too, man, I'm still mad about this. I had going back to talk about independence. It's always about Marvel and DC because they go head to head. They always go against each other. But I always bring up I love to go even when I was dealing with music and going to the music stores. I would always buy the underdogs. I would always buy the independents. So for comic books, even though I have the majors, I'm always going to go get the independent. So we're talking about the comics. That I was going to say also too, the other comic book series I have, and then I'm mad that I sold on eBay some years ago. I had the Greatest American Hero. I still have Greatest American Hero comic book series, but
man,
ended up having sold, and that's on me. And I'm always going to hate this, but I let go of signed comic book was a 9.43. And it's signed by William Cat, and it was signed by what's his name?
If you say Robert Culp, I'm gonna reach through the screen and choke the shit out of you for letting that go.
Wait. Hey, which comic is this?
I still have another Greatest American Hero comic book signed by William Cat, and I'll never let that one go. But I should have let the other one go because it had Robert Culp.
Because it had Robert on there. Yeah.
Who are these people?
No.
School me.
You got to look up the TV show. The comic was less popular, but Greatest American Hero.
About 1981.
Wait. You're talking about this guy here? This looks...
Yeah.
Okay. I was holding back. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to offend anybody. But looks kind of goofy.
That was.
So
he was clumsy as shit.
So he was a school teacher that stumbled across. He
was the alien book and the suit.
The UFO came down, pulled him in, gave him a book and a suit. And on the way back to Earth, when they dropped him off, he lost the book that was going to train him how to use the suit.
That's right. The book was the instruction manual for the suit. That's right. I knew it was the book and the suit. I knew that's what that was. It was the book and the suit. I knew that part.
He ended up losing the book in the desert while he was heading back home. But as the series went on, I think by the second season, he started learning how to use the suit without the instruction manual book. But by the third season, they came back. The aliens came back and gave him another book that he still ended up losing again. So yeah, I mean, the show was intended to be kind of silly, but at the same time, it became a cult classic because it was a dope show anyway. I mean,
it was one of the top shows on TV at the time, most definitely. I know I tuned into it every week.
This was 1981, you said? What year?
1981, I think, when it first came out. And I think it was ABC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And it lasted for a while. And I want to say it went into syndication for a small minute because I was a little kid, but in 81, I was only 3. So I definitely didn't have it in my mind at 3 years old. But later on, I was still seeing it on TV.
No, yeah. The show lasted 3 seasons, but it went into syndication. And then after the third season, Ralph Hinckley had to end up he ended up having to give away his suit because people started knowing him too much. He became too popular. So the aliens came back and told him that he had to go find somebody else to pass the suit along to. When he ended up doing that, he ended up finding a female to pass the suit on. And that's when they came up with the first season of the greatest American heroine, or heroine, whatever you want to call her. But it only lasted a pilot season because I think people kind of lost their interest in it. They didn't want to see, I don't know if they didn't want to see a female show about him, or if they were like, okay, well, if it's over, so we're not gonna do it.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to differentiate of whether it's called is this really being chauvinistic, or did changing the main character really kill the vibe? Because I don't know if y'all remember this, but that's the same thing that they did to the Karate Kid.
How so? What do you mean?
Oh yeah, what's
Karate Kid 4 was Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the end of the series. That was it. No, man, they was like, screw this. You had 3 solid hits of Ralph Macchio going up against the toughest kid in the city. You feel me?
Yeah, but
and Mr. Miyagi. And then they took it and gave it to Hilary Swank, and it was just like it died.
After the second Karate Kid, when he went to Okinawa, after that, when he went to the third Karate Kid, that's when I knew it was starting to go downhill, and it just wasn't the same. The first 2 were the dopest Karate Kids out of it. And now
I felt that too.
I brought it back. The TV series is even dope. You know what I'm saying?
It's always like that with sequels, though.
Bringing all the villains from back in the day. So the TV shows though, but
I was in love with the show. I'm in love with that show, bro. That's dope.
And the 4th movie,
Karate Kid.
Right.
Yeah, Cobra Kai on Netflix.
Yeah, that show's legit.
That's the Karate Kid.
Yeah. I know. Come on, man. I know Karate Kid.
I'm just saying, like, yeah. But then, yes, and it's exactly what he said. Even the guys from the 3rd and the 4th movies, they started bringing back. I don't know if y'all saw this. They're actually making another movie now. Like, the show got so popular, they're doing another movie.
Wow.
And now, with the movie, guess who's coming back?
My bad, y'all. Who's the
Jackie
only guy?
Chan as Mr. Han.
Jackie Chan?
Kai.
Yes,
Listen,
they're
who's the
tying
only
in
guy-
the Jaden Smith Karate Kid into the saga.
Whoa.
Mr. Han about to show up.
Wow. I wonder if Jaden Smith's gonna make an appearance.
Y'all
I
hear
hope
me?
he does. I hope he come back.
I hear
I
you.
can. Yeah. What's up?
No, I was saying, who's the only guy that they haven't brought back from that was a part of Cobra Kai that they haven't brought back yet?
I don't know.
One of them. They did bring back the one right before he passed away. I want to say, was it the dude that, to me, he kind of looked like Mark Hamill a little bit? The one that was all overexcited?
No.
Put the body back, yeah!
I don't know. The person they haven't brought back yet is Lamar Latrell.
Lamar Latrell.
Yeah, you don't even know what I'm talking about.
I don't even know who that is. The only Latrell I know.
You mean from Revenge of the Nerds? He was the black kid that got his ass whooped in the fucking sparring session by Johnny.
That's the only guy they ain't brought back.
Of course they didn't bring his weak ass back. But you know what would have made it dope? You know what would have made that dope? If the black kid in Cobra Kai was their kid, was that man's kid. If he was a Latrell.
Right.
They should have did that. They forgot about
that's
that.
Too much. That's too much. That's a stretch.
Why?
Because then there's
Daniel and Johnny. LaRusso got 2 kids, and now they're heavily involved in the karate tournaments. His daughter's one of the best. Johnny's son is one of the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, too many connections and like try. You know what I mean? Like I think it's just a stretch.
But that's how you expand the universe.
Hey, they still stretching. Yo,
Should we switch
they
gears?
stretching that thing out like silly putty.
Should we switch it up? Keep moving. You know, we're talking about both MCU. Should we look at Superman?
Yeah, let's take a couple minutes and talk about the new Superman, and then we'll move on to the surprise announcement.
All right, so I'm sure everybody's seen this. They just dropped a new trailer for Superman. DC, I'm a pretty big MCU fan, right? It's kind of like lightweight, funny, you know what I mean? Good pace. DC movies are a little different though. I feel like they're a little darker, a little more mature.
Yeah, the DC animation owned it. Like the DC animation is unmatched, but their movies are dark, and it's just like, how? And I get it though, because they're trying to say the real world ain't comical, right? But there is humor in the real world, which is what the MCU brings with their and just with lighter tones, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that half the DC movies have been around Batman doesn't help either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Gotham
Batman operates, and he operates mainly at night, so it's always going to be dark when he's around.
It's literally dark. Yeah.
He nighttime. You know what I mean? If you look at the Man of Steel, it wasn't as dark in the filming as it was in the scripting. The story itself was darker. You know what I mean? It was almost like he was on this solemn journey. And I get it. I think it was more realistic to see if he was an alien. Why would he have human emotions? And he was by himself, lone on the planet. So it was almost like he had an air of being depressed because he had no idea who he was. You know what I mean? I mean, deep rooted. He didn't know where he came from. He doesn't know any of his people. He has no relatives. He had to be adopted, and he got love in the human world because he's a humanoid form. But at the same time, he still knew by the time he found out that he wasn't human, it's like it took his demeanor into a solemn state. You know what I mean? And Henry had the perfect convey in the face of, I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to stand up for what's right. But deep inside, I'm in pain.
He's not coming back for this new one, right? It's someone else?
The new guy is now David Cornsweet and James Gunn, who is known for the Guardians of the Galaxy. So again, more comical, more satirical, more just more humorous in so many of the things we do. Like, he's already started. I don't know if people have seen it, but James Gunn had just released Creature Commandos on HBO Max. Right.
I don't have HBO Max.
And it's all good. Creature Commandos is basically a spinoff of what the DC TV shows were trying to do when they had Doom Patrol and then the Suicide Squad movies, because this is Amanda Waller, and instead of the younger Rick Flag, this is his father, Rick Flag Sr. You remember the Suicide Squad with Will Smith, right? And actually the same, and the other one with Idris Elba and all of them. What's his name? Joel Kinnaman, right? They made him more classic in the second Suicide Squad with Idris Elba, but he was wearing that same yellow T-shirt because that was Rick Flagg's persona. But it's Rick Flag Senior and Junior, and they're both basically like damn near versions of Batman, but instead of being vigilantes, they're literally in the military. Like they're badasses. They never lose fights, right?
The Collywop.
So,
Huh?
so as a comic book fan, I mean, I haven't seen these. I mean, do I need to watch these on Friday night or?
Yeah, you do. Everything we bring up, you need to be watching, brother.
I tried Justice League. My wife still gives me crap for that. I think we tried watching
The
it.
movie or the TV or the cartoon?
The movie.
Oh yeah, no. Your comic book knowledge is gonna come from the cartoon, the animation.
I know you were talking about Justice League, the cartoon, right? Being one of your faves.
Oh, you don't understand. Justice League Unlimited, and Teen Titans, Young Justice.
You need to
You
start.
gotta watch them, dog.
No, Chris. He needs to start 1980s. You need to start from the beginning, brother.
Super Friends.
No, you need to see Super Friends.
You need to watch the Super Friends.
Yeah, you need to start there and work your way up, man.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we need to work on as a team.
Friends. Like you need to pull everything out from the 80s and move up to the 90s, man. You got a lot of work.
Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
You got a lot of work.
I'm telling you, maybe we need to have a playlist where we can just go to and it's like the top 5, the top 10.
Man, listen, Eddie, you gotta.
You don't feel me, Eddie. This is your homework. We give you homework assignments right now.
Eddie, listen, man. Hey, do you have?
I'm a busy guy, man. I'm a busy guy.
You did not smile at all when I said that.
I'm a busy guy, but for sure.
Eddie, do you have a VCR?
A VCR?
Yeah, because I got plenty of VHS, man. I can give you, man. So,
Man, we got Google. He can find all of this on YouTube.
Wait, hold up, man. I'm kind of slow here. What's a VCR?
Oh, you ain't seen one of them? Hey, do you remember cassette tapes?
Cassette tapes?
Yeah, they were before CDs.
Is that like an album or something?
They were in between albums and CDs.
80s, baby. Of course, man. I had a Walkman, Okay, so I got way back, Super Friends. You're saying that's all on YouTube right now?
Yeah, you need to watch. Hey, you got
to catch up on your He-Man, your G.I. Joe, your Transformers, your GoBots, your Centurions, your Visionaries.
Everything that says
Ninja Turtle.
Hanna-Barbera, man. You need a lot of that too, man.
Yeah, come on.
Yep. Nah, he probably know them.
I know them.
You gotta know Huckleberry Hound.
Yeah, for real. I know He-Man.
You gotta know Hong Kong Phooey.
I know G.I. Joe, Jetsons. Come on.
Okay.
Mr. Ed.
All right.
Genie.
What you know about the biker mice from Mars?
Which one?
Hey, Chris.
Biker mice from Mars.
No, look, Chris. We gotta start Eddie off. We gotta start you off with Photon and man, what else am I thinking?
And Voltron.
No.
There you go.
Trans-RZ.
I did not see Voltron. I'll throw that out there.
Get on Voltron.
When I was a kid, though, everybody was talking about it. Or even when I got a little older, everyone was looking back at some of the toys they were dropping or whatever, and everyone was all hyped. And I was like, what is this? So, yeah, I should check that out.
See, He-Man, Transformers, and Jet, they kind of, like, everybody was into making toys out of this stuff from before, but like when He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Voltron them hit the TV airwave, it's like the toy game kicked up too. They were because they were really active toys now. The Transformers really transform. You know what I'm saying? You could have a Voltron where you could actually put the lions together and build when you talking about these kids had their parents spending money on them toys. I could go dig in my garage right now and pull out the evidence.
The Voltron toys, man. If you still have the ones that are metal, oh my God, they worth so much money now, man.
These are the ones I'm talking about. The ones where the metal lions, you could pull their tails up and shift their legs up and actually build Voltron.
Well, you could do that with the plastic ones too, right?
Yeah, but it's not the same, man. Like you
It
gotta
ain't the same.
You gotta get the original. You know,
You gotta get the die-cast metal.
A lot of people still have them though.
Hey, it's not that bad. The prices?
Go to eBay and look it up.
Yeah, eBay, right here.
1980.
I got a name for him. Terrence. Eddie, what you know about the Bionic 6?
Bionic 6?
Yes.
I don't.
Bionic 6. Woo, woo.
Nah, man. You gotta stop playing with Eddie, man. Eddie can start from Jubilee Zoo to Reading Rainbow, man, before you start getting
my God. That was like comic.
Rainbow.
That's like sending them back to Sesame Street, nigga. We ain't sending them to Sesame Street.
Rogers? Come on.
Yikes. Hey. Don't
I ain't
sleep
coming
on
back.
Mr.
Coming
Rogers.
back next
Mason.
week, man.
Oh,
I'm done.
Hello, boys.
that's not the right one.
Oh, that ain't it?
That's not the right one. That said $119. That ain't it.
That ain't it?
Nah, that's not it.
It says metal on it, though, no? Wait.
Unless
Is
it's
it?
not.
Nah, that might. Those are only 2 lions. They might be charging that for just a few. Oh no, you got the whole. Oh, it's a small one.
Yeah, that ain't it. That ain't it. That's not it.
I mean, that would still work, but that's like you said. You're right, Eddie. That is Voltron. Yes,
That's why.
but that ain't the big. Like it was like a foot tall.
So is it maybe this one? No. Oh, that's something different.
Oh, that's not it. That's brand new. That's a new one. That's not it.
We're talking about the OG.
Yeah, you gotta put like 1980.
Oh yeah. If you haven't found like the original ones from back in the day, yeah, they're probably going to be cheaper. Yeah.
Wait,
Hey,
I just
buddy,
I go to-
I still got Battle Damaged Skeletor somewhere deep down in my damn garage toy bin from when I was a kid. We got all of that. Let's see.
Where's
What else
completed
is one of the
listing?
good ones that we can start with? Huh?
Like, I want to see the completed listings to see the most expensive ones.
See, now we got them doing real research right here.
Hey, they're asking $1,200 right here for this 1997.
There you go. And that's late.
This is late.
That's a
right?
later model.
Yeah, you saying 1996?
Wow, $1,200.
Again, yeah, that's younger than the original. Yes, most definitely, because this is 80s. Voltron was pure 80s.
Voltron.
Oh, and then you got to get. I know you remember the Thundercats too now.
See, Chris, when you said Wildcats, that's what I was thinking about. Thundercats. I knew Thundercats. They just re-released that on Netflix, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I used to watch that.
They tried to recreate a new version of it too. But it didn't really work as well.
It didn't.
No. But they dropped a new He-Man on Netflix, and I think it did hit pretty well.
Masters of the Universe, I think.
Yep.
Tell me why I was all hyped. I tried watching it and I couldn't even get through it.
They had two different ones.
Mm.
The actual cartoon one is much better than the one where they're using CGI animation.
I think I saw the CGI one because it looked like futuristic, new, and
it looked kiddie.
Didn't feel right. Something was off.
Nah. The cartoon one that they dropped was done by Kevin Smith.
Okay.
And you know he ain't gonna play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're making it dope.
That's
So yeah, that one was pretty much a hit.
Okay, good. Yeah, Kevin Smith, that's like the same Silent Bob guy, right?
That's Kevin Smith is Silent Bob. Yeah, and he's very big in the comic book world now, and directing with animation and all that kind of, like, he behind the scenes with that kind of stuff. He's a legend.
I remember he had a reality show where him and some other guys opened up a comic book store, and they would just talk comics and.
Exactly.
I think that was like 10 years ago. That was a while back.
Mm-hmm. Because if you remember the whole Jay and Silent Bob stuff, it was Mallrats first and then Clerks.
I think it was Clerks first and then Mallrats.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure. Because Clerks was the one.
You might be right.
Yeah. Hey, those are some cult classics though, for sure.
Exactly.
They don't make movies like that anymore.
They can't. Too censored. Me Too movement don't get them.
Yeah. Like too much green screen. Like they're not filming on location, man. I think it throws me off. Like I can sense when it's not like actually filmed on location and it's just off.
You can't. You really can't. Because it's like I can almost kind of see that you didn't even work hard enough to smooth out the lines. Like it looks good, but then I still look at it like the definition is almost too high.
Mm-hmm. It's just boring. They only really have like two angles, and then they cut to this side and then to that side, and it's always the same look. Versus if it's actually filmed, like there's some movement. I don't know. They can do some camera work. It just looks way better.
Yeah.
So
agreed. But then there's Silverhawks too.
What's that?
You know what? I knew it. I knew I was gonna find another one he ain't know about.
Wait. You said Silver Hawk?
Silverhawks. Yep.
I don't know that.
It came on right after Thundercats. Made by the same people. Yep. Look at that. Pull that thing up. Pull that thing up, Eddie.
You had it, man. You need to go and pull up Brave Star too, man.
Oh, yes. Hell yeah. The horse named 3030 and the shotgun named Mary Jane. You daggone right, what? Speed of the puma. Strength of the bear. The only Native American superhero to carry his own show. Yep, those are the Silverhawks. Silverhawks. Hell yeah. And as you can see, they made that a comic and all that stuff too. The cartoon was raw dog. They was all in space. And as you can see, they were basically bird people, but the bird stuff was basically just their suit of armor. But they were space flying. It was a raw dog show, man. It's crazy. Now, go on and pull up Brave Star. Go on and pull up. You got to pull up Brave Star now.
Brave Star?
Yep. And the Galaxy.
We just reminiscing right now.
Oh man, you got me about to go crazy. Galaxy Rangers. I used to love that cartoon.
That might be a nice topic for a future stream. You know, again, ranking the top ones, maybe from like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, all time, whatever.
And the great ones that time forgot, like Brave Star. When I tell you, this cartoon was awesome, bro.
I don't know, man. Sometimes when I see stuff like that, I'm like, does it hold, like, you know, does it stand up to time?
They would have to update it. They would have to update it if they wanted to recreate anything. But nah, it was nice.
But like you said, I don't know. Is this gonna fly in today's climate?
Oh, for sure.
You think so?
A Native American sheriff out for truth and justice and carrying his own show. Oh yeah, they're gonna be like, it's about damn time. Can we have some more? Like honestly, that's why we was happy about the Blue Beetle. You finally got a Latin dude to carry his own show, to carry his own storyline. Yeah, they keep acting like the only people that can carry their own storylines is black and white people.
Yep. Unfortunately, that's just the reality of today.
Right. But you can see back in the 80s, they tried. Every generation, they tried.
Not this
Because
generation.
I'm telling you, that show was a hit. That show was on for several seasons, man. It lasted for a minute.
Huh. That'd be interesting. You know, we got the comic book thing going here. We're building up a nice solid foundation, right? We got some comics here. But that would be really interesting, man. Reminiscing about these old series and potentially seeing if there'd be some way to like revive that. You know, executive producer.
I like that.
Just saying, no one's probably touching it because like it's forgotten in time.
And if we needed to, we could be the ones to diversify it if we got that. You're right.
That's cha-ching. That's money right there.
Yep. Because it is, the Power Rangers shows you that. You can keep.
Yeah.
You can keep changing and re-diversifying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's about that time.
I think it is. So we're gonna switch gears again. Again, we're just talking shit, having fun, reminiscing, love for comic books, our childhood, right? But we got a big announcement. Terrence, you want to do us the honors here? Hold up, let me get to the right spot here. Boom.
Yo, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you on.
Yeah, so TMH Comics, man, we're moving everything over. Not just for everything that's on Amazon.com. All books, all 19 books are there. But been transferring everything over to Spotify. So for those of you that don't feel like reading and don't want to read, or maybe you're too busy or maybe you're too lazy, you can go to Spotify, and it is on TMH Comics Podcast is on Comics Presents Light Talk, and you can actually be able to hear some of these stories. I have one story dropping for the rest of this week every single day, and so for right now, I think 19, it'll be probably about 15 of the stories up, 14 or 15 of those stories up. So for those of you that are interested, please continue to support and go to Spotify and Amazon, or either one or the other, and check us out. So you can either hear the interviews that are on there for the stories, and you could also go to Amazon.com and look up the stories' names, book names, and actually get them on Kindle as well. You can download the book, but you can actually listen to it. So have the Audible and the audio and the tech for you, man. So take a look at it. www.tmhcomics.com, amazon.com, and spotify.com.
You heard it right there, people. From the creative mind himself. We out there.
Yes, sir.
We on Amazon. We on Spotify. You get your comic books. TMHcomics.com is on and out. Go get it.
Yep. We'll make sure we add the link in the description here. Again, if you're a comic book lover and you're just, you want cool stories, different characters, different viewpoints, there's 19 bucks, y'all. Don't be sleeping on this, but just check them out. And if anything, join in the discussion, man. Share some feedback. Let us know what you think. The team here is fully committed to, blowing this up and trying to present the best stories we can. And so if you got any feedback, any ideas, let us know. Again, we love
Absolutely.
to hear. I'm sorry, you were saying something, Terry?
No, I was just saying, can you scroll through some of those so they can take a look at it, so we can have like all the single episodes that are on here so they can see.
Dang, I didn't even know there was all these down here.
Mm-hmm. Actually, take a let's see. Hit Ignite. Ignite. You see what Ignite is? Yeah. Hit play on that. See what happens.
Hopefully it comes through. Let's check this out. Let's see.
Here, maybe fade the background music out so we can get, whenever it comes in, we can get it clear.
Oh. Yeah, I was just to see if it would play, but anyway, that's one of the stories. Regardless if it played or not, they can go to Spotify and check it out.
Yeah, I don't know if that came through. I hope it did. I'm not 100% sure. I think it should be able to, but if it didn't, my bad. Just want to give you a sneak peek. Again, totally relatable stories. Want to give a sneak peek just to give you a small little taste, but you got to go to tmhcomics.com to check it out. Check it out on Spotify. I know everybody got Spotify, right? No excuses. Just check this out. You're going to love them.
Absolutely. Here, I'm getting ready to try to make some adjustments so that maybe I never did. There it is. I don't know why that audio didn't come through. I'm going to see if I can't try to help with that. Never even realized I didn't even have Spotify installed on my tablet. I had it on my phone, but not my tablet. All right. So just a little bit of slight radio silence. If you would, after this works, let me make sure.
Looks like Terrence just dropped off.
Did he?
I don't know
Oh
why
yeah.
I don't know why the volume didn't come through. Sorry, y'all. Whoever's listening. But again, just all the more reason to go out and check it out.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. I see. Hold up. Let's run this back.
Where we at?
You said ignite, right? All right. Let's try this again. I think I can figure. I think this will work now. There it is. All right.
The story paints a vivid picture of Frank's world. He's got that worn punching bag in his basement, a relic of a boxing career cut short, and cracks in his apartment ceiling that mirror the cracks in his own life. It's a potent visual metaphor, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It emphasizes that sense of being trapped, of things falling apart around him. And then there's his ex-wife, Samantha, whose words to Frank are almost like salt in the wound.
Ooh.
The story describes her as saying he'll never be able to give her and their kids the life they deserve.
It's brutal, right? And it really underscores that feeling of being stuck in a downward spiral. You're battling job stress, relationship issues, financial strain. It's enough to make anyone feel like giving up.
Yeah.
But instead of dwelling in that despair, Ignite uses it as a springboard for transformation.
And it does so through a truly suspenseful event, a mysterious accident at the airport. Frank's inspecting a plane when he notices this strange yellowish green liquid leaking from the metal frame, and suddenly, boom, an explosion rocks the airfield.
Okay.
Damn, I'm on the edge of my seat, man. But I had to cut it. Should I keep going?
Yeah, play it.
Keep going? All right.
Play the whole thing, man.
Okay, so now we've got this
We got time.
and this weird liquid. It's impossible not to think superhero origin story, but what sets Ignite apart is how it handles those classic tropes.
Exactly. It doesn't just give Frank powers and call it a day. The accident leaves him with severe burns, crippling medical bills, and the very real threat of losing custody of his kids. So now, on top of everything else, he's facing this whole new level of crisis.
Talk about adding insult to injury, right?
Yeah.
But it's within this crucible of pain and uncertainty that something extraordinary begins to happen. Frank starts noticing changes in his body, incredible strength, heightened senses, lightning fast reflexes. It's as if the accident, and perhaps that mysterious liquid, unlocked some hidden potential within him.
And Ignite doesn't shy away from showcasing the dramatic contrast of this transformation. One moment he's struggling to pay rent, the next he's effortlessly lifting a maintenance truck to prevent a fuel tank from exploding. It's a scene that perfectly captures that sense of awe and disbelief, both for Frank and for the reader.
It's almost like that moment in superhero movies where the character first discovers they can fly or they stop a speeding train. But in Ignite, it's grounded in a much more gritty, everyday setting. We see Frank wrestling with these abilities, not in some fantastical training montage, but in the midst of his ordinary, chaotic life.
And that's what makes his internal struggle so compelling. He's not just grappling with newfound superpowers, he's grappling with fear, confusion, and the weight of responsibility. Does he use these abilities for good? Does he risk exposure and upend his already fragile life? Or does he keep them hidden and try to maintain some semblance of normalcy?
It's a classic dilemma, but one that Ignite explores with the depth that goes beyond the typical superhero narrative.
And Frank's decision. He chooses the path of a hero, He crafts a makeshift costume, embraces the name Fuel, a nod to both his job and the accident, and takes his first tentative steps into a world he never could have imagined.
No, I love that name, Fuel. It's so simple yet so layered with meaning. It ties directly to his origin story, hinting at the fiery nature of his powers. But it also evokes that everyman quality, that anyone, even a struggling fuel technician, can become something extraordinary.
Precisely. And that's one of the brilliant aspects of Ignite.
Right.
It takes those larger than life superhero elements and grounds them in the relatable struggles of an ordinary person. We see Fuel stumbling through his first attempts at heroism, grappling with clumsiness, sensory overload, and the sheer weight of the responsibility he's chosen to shoulder. But even with those stumbles, his heart's clearly in the right place. He's stopping robberies, putting out fires, even using his enhanced senses to provide first aid to people in need. He's not perfect.
Yeah,
He's making mistakes,
sure.
but he's driven by a genuine desire to make a difference.
And it's that raw determination, that kind of clumsy heroism that makes Fuel such a compelling character. He's not a polished superhero with all the answers. He's learning on the fly, making things up as he goes along, and sometimes he gets it wrong.
And those mistakes have consequences, which the story doesn't shy away from exploring. One scene that really stood out to me was in chapter 10, A Father's Burden. It perfectly encapsulates the struggle Frank faces trying to
Okay, you did
right.
cut it. I was gonna say it played for a good little minute, and I felt like it got to a point where it was like, oh, that's a good place to cut it because you don't want to give them the whole thing because then they won't have a need to go read it and listen to it for themselves over there. But that was a good strong sample size of the quality and the depth of what's going on with these characters in this new universe.
Yep.
That was the surprise announcement, people.
Go ahead to the website, TMH Comics. Go to Spotify. I was gonna say Shopify. Go to Spotify. Check it out. Give us a 5-star. Give us some love. And
Give us some money.
that'll come in time. That'll come. But let us know what you guys think. Again, we're building this. We're here at ground ground level, phase 1 at Jason. So
yes, sir. We hope that you guys out there love it as much as we do. Because that's why we're here. We all have a love. We all believe that this is the next one. This is the future of comics, and soon, hopefully, we'll be making some more announcements. With further developments.
Yep. All right, fellas. I think it's probably a good time to cut it. What you got to say, Terrence?
I think we got some editing to do. Big Dog, you want to jump in?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just listening to y'all. But yeah, make sure you guys go to Spotify. We're on Spotify now, like I said, for the audio books, and we're also on Amazon.com, and it's www.tmhcomics.com. But you can also find everything on Amazon and Spotify as well. And I guess we'll see you guys next session, next Tuesday, or next meeting, or whatever you want to call it. Man, we're around. We're here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's right, Q.
This was a lot of fun. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, and of course, again, check us out, TMH Comics, Amazon, Spotify, everywhere, man, worldwide, man. TMH, we about to take over this. Let's go.
Thank you. God bless you. Good night.
So I had that imaginary red light in my head. Well, you mean JC? Yeah, JC.